Easter Monday at the Meadowhall shopping centre, Sheffield, and perhaps the bank holiday shoppers were taken by surprise that hundreds of ice hockey fans had gathered to greet their heroes on return from a successful playoffs campaign, with promotion to Heineken Division 1 being clinched in style the night before at Blackburn. As the fanatic Steelers fans cheer, the team enter the stage like a team of lumberjacks, but the reception is fit for a charting pop group. But these are special people. They are the Sheffield Steelers.
Somebody got in this morning, David.
First of all, local hero in Sheffield, wearing number 1. The backup netminder early in the season for Sheffield, put your hands together for Terry Medway. And what about number 31, Andy Donald? Wearing number 2 for the Sheffield Steelers, of course, Sean Judge. And of course, number 4, Phil Rodrigo. Now I don't think number 9 is there, but let's take the roof off for him anyway. Kevin Havenham. Now this is all going out on the special Steelers video, and there's one special copy of that that's going all the way to Kamloops in Canada. There's one guy that's missing today. He's in the plane, he's 30,000 feet up in the air at the moment, but let's make Meadowhall shake for number 10. Last night in Blackburn from number 12, Paul Rocky. And he lost himself in the cause of Sheffield Steelers. Every team needs a captain. What a captain, 13, Bernard Sellers. Now it's a special day for our next player. It's his 30th birthday today. Happy birthday for Gary Cox. Let's go. Sheffield Steelers, Andy Mills. Wearing 16 for the Steelers, he's had his hair done especially for you today. I hear some girls scream now when I say 17 rubbish. Steelers player. Let's hear it again. Up the three, let's get the haggis going. 1, 2, 3. We want haggis! 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 Wearing number 22, without doubt the best British defenceman in the country. You got the WWE was at the Sheffield Arena last night, but did you see the Phil Lee slam? Now there's only 3 words that can describe the next man. Quite simply, magic! Magic! Now without this next man, perhaps it wouldn't have all been possible. It's been a great year. General Manager.
I'd just like to say a few words. Basically, you're unbelievable. I've played in the biggest championship winning teams at Wembley. We've won nothing compared to last night at Blackburn. Best ever. There's been a lot of questions asked if Ron Shudra and Steve Nemeth are coming back next year. The answer is, I'll speak for Steve because he's not here, and he will be. We'll let Ron Shudra make his own decision. He'll maybe tell you in a couple of minutes. Whatever thing, just if you bear with me. One player who we've decided, because of his performance in the playoffs, and especially last night's performance, tipped the balance. He doesn't even know it yet, but we're going to have, without question, the most hard-working dual national player in the country.
On behalf of the team and everybody, just thanks a lot. It's been great.
I've spent the last 7 months listening to David introduce the next person. I don't think we really need to make any introduction anymore. Saying, you are the best, and we're almost as good as you. I've had a special request by Mr. Sims here. He wants to do the job properly. He says I'm an amateur, so I'll pass it to him. Bear with him.
Final welcome. The Steelers want me to say a big thank you to the stick boy and the guy that's held them all the seasons. Put your hands together once more for Kevin Hartley. Right, I think that's it now. We're finished here. I think we're
gusto of the Steelers starts and ends at the Meadowhall, but our action begins on December the 22nd, 1991 with a visit of the Streatham Redskins, the only team to have beaten the Steelers in an incredible run of results which put the Steelers at the top of the English Division 1 by Christmas, with 12 wins from 14 games, with only 3 points dropped. In Christmas party mood, a record crowd of 5,750 attended what turned out to be a classic encounter, with the Steelers entering the stadium in spectacular fashion. This was a special Christmas party, Steelers style. Fireworks, Father Christmas on ice, and a record crowd in festive mood. The atmosphere was electric, and after only 11 seconds, Mark Mackey latched on to a centering pass to get the crowd on their feet. Good work from Mark Nichols gave an opportunity for David Smith, and after 2 minutes 57, Streatham were back on level terms. Good work by defenceman Paul Thompson. Fed Mark Mackey down the left, and a perfect centering pass gave Robbie Saunders the opportunity to put the Steelers ahead 2-1 on 5 minutes 58. The Steelers were finding Streatham a tough nut to crack, and James Grindley, the netminder, was having a good game in the first period. Streatham hit back after 8:22, Campbell Blair finding Fred Polini, who went unchecked over the red line and slipped in a simple right-hand wrist shot past the unsighted Andy Havenhand. Trouble stared, Phil Lee falling out with Campbell Blair. And to the delight of the Steelers fans, Blair took his first excursion to the penalty box after 9 minutes for interference. The first power play for the Steelers, and from the face-off, Mark Mackey eventually gets the puck through to Ron Shudra, feeds it across, and a strong slap shot from Phil Lee completely deceives Grindley. 3-2 to the Steelers. The Steelers continued to pressure the Streatham defencemen throughout the first period, and Campbell Blair once again found himself in the penalty box, this time for holding. The short-handed Streatham were finding it difficult to contain the Steelers, and attack after attack came in throughout the first period. And with Streatham unable to clear the defensive zone, the frustration started to show. Steve Namath whipped in a low left-hand wrist shot, much to the displeasure of Steve Condren. Ronnie Wood comes to the rescue, but Steve Condren made the big mistake of picking on Big Ron Shudra. Eventually, the penalties were dished out. 2 minutes for Ron Wood for roughing, 2 minutes for number 10 Steve Condren for roughing, and a 2+2 for Ron Shudra. Tempers got out of hand again, with this time Steve Namath and Mark Salisbury getting 2 minutes each for roughing. Early in the second period, the Steelers took a 4-2 lead. Wood being foiled there by Grindley, but eventually feeding the pass through to Steve Namath, who puts in a low left-hand wrist shot to make it 4-2 on 21:57. Exactly 1 minute later, Streatham pulled it back with a right-hand break, making a 3-on-2. Good save from Havenhand, but a simple tap-in and an assisted goal for Brett Kelleher. At 4-3 to the Steelers, Rocket Ron Shudra unleashed one of his specialities. (5-3 to the Steelers on 23:26. At last the Steelers had found the breathing space they needed and again had got the 2-goal advantage. And Streatham were guilty of gifting this goal. When the defenceman failed to clear it away, good work from Ron Wood, putting a centering pass to Mark Mackey, who on his second attempt put it past the very frustrated James Grindley. 6-3 to the Steelers. But Streatham were by no means dead and buried, and straight from the face-off, Fred Polini feeds Mark Salisbury with a left-hand wrist shot that beats Andy Havenhand. 6-4 now. Just over 5 minutes later, on 30:04, Brett Kelleher grabs an unassisted goal, making it 6-5. Then Campbell Blair feeds a perfect pass for Fred Polini to equalise at 6-6 on 31:54. The Redskins were on fire. A break by Kelleher pops it into the centre, and an easy finish for Mark Salisbury made it 6-7 after 33:44. But the Steelers came out in a different frame of mind for the third period, and immediately Steve Namath was in action. A fine left-hand wrist shot high of the blue line gives the Steelers fans something to cheer about at last. 7-7 now, but Streatham make the Steelers pay the penalty of leaving a player of the quality of Fred Polini completely unchecked on the right wing, and despite the fact that he takes 2 attempts to get it past Havenhand, Streatham once again take the lead 8-7 on 47:42. The Steelers looked in trouble and desperation started to creep in. The one-on-ones were coming thick and fast, and Shudra, in desperation, holds back Fred Polini and gets a 2-minute penalty for interference.
Penalty to the Sheffield Steelers, number 24, Rocket Ron Shudra. He receives a 2-minute penalty for interference.
The Steelers were now looking desperate, and another break by Streatham, resulting in a 3-on-1, gave a great opportunity for Mark Salisbury, who finished clinically, leaving Havenhand floundering. 9-7 to Streatham now, 6:23 left, and the Steelers had given away a 6-3 lead. With 4:21 left, Campbell Blair hooked Steve Namath for a 2-minute penalty, which obviously meant that his team would be short-handed for the next 2 minutes. Ron Shudra's bullet from the point eventually crept in, but the red light went on, but unfortunately was overruled by the referee because the puck had not crossed the line. For the closing 2 minutes of the game, we hand over to live commentator Willem Lloyd.
The drop then. It comes out to Lee. Lee shoots off target with a slap shot from the point. And the pace is picked up, and the Streatham Redskins are quite happy to just play this game out. They should be. They're 2 goals in front. Steelers have got to be ever aware. 3-on-2 here. Polini well checked out by Lee. Namath then. Namath dinks the puck in. The shot comes in from Rocket Ron Shudra. And the rebound is put home by Mackey. Mackey reduces it to 8 goals to 9. A minute and 45 left in the match, and Mackey scores the 8th goal for the Steelers. The score is the Redskins 9, the Steelers 8. And Mackey gives the Steelers hope. Picked up the rebound and hit it home clean as you like. Namath fed Schuler. Schuler's shot was too hot to handle by Grindley, and the rebound was poached into the back of the net by Mackey. And the crowd, who have been quiet for most of this period, have suddenly come alive. And we have a game on our hands. A minute and a half then left in the game. It's all to play for. 8-9 is the score in favour of the Redskins. Don't suppose they'll be too unhappy with a draw out of this game, but that's the goal. It's a goal. It's the equalising goal. And my goodness me, they might not get the draw out of it. I couldn't see who got it. It was all of a melee in there. It could have been Namath. We'll have to check. 9-all it is, and we have a game on our hands. Mackey again. 2 in quick succession. And it's 9-all here as the crowd come alive, as the Steelers bring them back with hope of going to the top of English League Division 1. So this is Namath. Namath shunts that across. We've 50 seconds left in the match. 9-9 is the score. You couldn't have asked for a better scenario. It couldn't have been scripted better by Jeffrey Archer. And I'm telling you, it's not over yet. Shudra feeding Saunders. Saunders shunts that one around the back, trying to pick up Ronnie Wood, and he might pick Ronnie Wood up. No, he couldn't get there. Namath to Schuler, slap shot coming in, scores! Shudra, the score, 10-9. Rocket run into the back of the net, and the crowd go absolutely bananas. And can you blame them? That's 3 goals. There are 19 seconds left in the match. 10-9 is the score. And from being dead and buried with 2 minutes left in the game, 3 goals in quick succession have brought the Steelers into the victory podium. 10-9. Ron Shudra, the scorer. The Streatham fans can't believe this. Rocket Ron puts his side ahead for the first time in a long time in this period. 10-9 and 14 seconds left. There maybe is no more time for the Redskins to get back in this game. They're counting it down here at the Sheffield Arena, the most dramatic of all wins, and it's Sheffield Steelers who take it and head the first division of the English League. They have turned defeat into victory with 3 late goals to lead the final score here at the arena. 10 goals to the Steelers, 9 to the Redskins. Well, Steve, hell of a game, hell of an ending.
Well, yes, very hell of a game. I think you couldn't get a better script for the fans. They've got their money's worth today, and to tell you the truth, after 9-7, 2 minutes left, I didn't know if we were going to come back.
Noticeable that, you know, big crowd, 5,750, biggest crowd for a league game. Scripted well, and at the end of the day, I think they were counting you out as dead and buried with 2 minutes to go.
Yes, I think they were. I think Streatham played really well. Their goalie played well. I thought he made a lot of good saves. But it came down to it, and we kept plugging. We didn't give up. Honestly, we didn't give up. And we didn't want to go losers against them in this sort of fans coming like this, because it's the most. We wanted to show that we're good, and I'm glad we won.
Okay, we've got Ronnie Wood, and probably more important than Ronnie, we've got the sponsors boy tonight, Christopher Loftus. First of all, Christopher, did you enjoy the game tonight?
Yes.
Good. I'll turn to Ronnie now then. Left it very late, Ron.
Oh yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Couldn't have asked for better tonight, and really, we didn't perform to anything like our capabilities, but the result ended up the right way, and I think the crowd got value for money tonight, which is the main thing.
Did you think you'd blown it?
Yeah, I must be honest. 9-7, I thought, oh geez, here we go, we're in trouble. But everybody rallied round. We decided we've got to make one big effort and try and just swing the luck, because we didn't seem to get many breaks. We managed to do it, so everybody's happy.
Rocket run then, and certainly a rocket run shot to climax that match. A wonderful, thrilling finale to it.
Oh, it was. We left it a little bit close to the end there. We never gave up, which was a good sign all the way through the game. We were up on them by 3 or 4 goals. We kind of laid back a little bit in the second period, and then took it to them in the third. And about the last 2 minutes of the game is when I think we caught them a little bit off guard. I don't think they thought we had that much energy left in us, and it was a big thing. It's great for the crowd. I hope they'll be coming back for it.
What about the crowd? I mean, 5,750 people here this evening. You couldn't have asked for anything more than that. It's a fairy tale for the Steelers.
Oh, you couldn't have wrote a better script for an ending of a game like that, especially with everybody in the building. I feel sorry for some of the people that had left the building when it was 9-7, with about 5 minutes left. Maybe they missed an exciting end, and well, maybe next time they'll stick around a little bit and watch the whole game.
I spoke to both Steve Namath and Ronnie Wood about the defensive frailties of the side, as it were. Obviously, as player-coach, that's got to worry you a little bit, especially if you start to step up into the high divisions next year. And in particular, one of the points that I pointed out to them was that you gave Pelini far too much space from the blue line in.
Oh, we did, but I think they played well as a whole. That you can't just say one guy did all the damage. They scored 10 goals. Mark Salisbury, I think the under-21 winger on that line, played great. He scores two or three goals tonight as well. So, you can't just mark one guy. With any team in the league, a lot of the teams have a good first line, and you're going to see, hopefully not 10 goals scored against you like this or whatever it was, but. Sure, you play in your own end. We gave them a lot of chances, and they capitalized on their chances in the second period.
What were you, Fred Pelini of Streatham Redskins? Very disappointed this evening in the end product on that one.
Yeah, I would like to think that, all the guys are kind of disappointed. At the end of the day, you can't downfall Sheffield, because they played a very good hockey game. I mean, they scored 3 goals with 1:20 to go, and really, at the end of the day, they stole, if not a point, 2 points away from us. But at the end of the day, I think what we have to do, we've been told that the top 4 teams make the playoffs, and that's our goal right now, to stay within the top 4. We had a bit of a shaky start, but we're starting to put things together now, and as you can see out there tonight, it was a good, entertaining hockey game, and I think it was good for the fans. I think when people come to the ice rink, like a beautiful ice rink like this, at least they've seen a good entertainment hockey, and hopefully there's many more like that in Sheffield.
The Steelers endured their second defeat of the season in the first game of 1992, away at Medway, losing 7-6. Medway were now only 1 point behind the Steelers, with Streatham down to third place with 24 points, while Oxford, Solihull and Chelmsford were fighting out for that vital 4th place in the playoffs race. Our next game sees Medway visit the Sheffield Steelers on January the 18th. Records were broken again at the Sheffield Arena, with an 8,300 gauge, an increase of nearly 3,000 from the previous week's attendance, when the Steelers swept aside the Haringey Racers 11-2. But surprisingly, Medway had slipped up at Solihull the week before, 4-2. And as Kevin McNaughton's Medway men took to the ice, they knew that the championship battle was now becoming a 2-horse race, and that they saw this game as a 4-pointer. Only a win would be good enough from tonight's game.
Mackie then, probably line up a shot here, he does. That one's dealt with by Russell Samways without too much trouble. And the Steelers have not put any sort of pressure on the net of Russell Samways so far, and that's a goal! The first one of the evening. And it's Luke Chimott who's got the goal. Power play goal. 10 seconds left. getting underway then. We'll see. Nick Rothwell. Rothwell in his debut appearance for the Steelers is hounded out there, but the puck is then collected and a shot comes in and a goal! And that is Ronnie Wood's assist and Mackey scores to level the tie. 1-1. And the game's starting to pick up a little bit now. A big hit there on Darren Masters. The play continues. Comes out, slap shot, way high and handsome over the top. Namath then. Namath checking in with McNaught. McNaught succeeds in giving it away to Mackey, and Namath in the set. And a chance of a goal! And a wonderful goal! 2-1 then. McNaught got himself in a terrible tangle there. Gave the puck away. Namath sealed off. Mackey set in. And on a one-on-one with the keeper, Namath slots home the lead goal for the Sheffield Steelers. Edmiston then. Edmiston knocks it across. And a goal! And that one out of the blue from the point. And the scorer, Sean Clement, levels it up. Shot then, shot comes in, and that's a goal, is it? It is a goal. Hit the underside of the bar, bounced down. The referee in an excellent position to see it. I think the scorer was Edmiston, but we'll have to check on that. But again, a sloppy goal. But not picking up Shabbat, but Shabbat not able to collect it. So, Shudra. Rocket run dispossessed. And the chance coming in here. And a goal coming in here from Sean Clement. And that stretches the lead for the Bears to 4-2. Lee then, Lee puts the chance wide with Russell Samways sat on his backside. And if he'd have put that one on target and up in the air, one would have thought he'd have to score. With the power play goal, he scored. And Mark Mackey is the man that scored it. Ronnie Wood looked like he wanted to make a top point to point that the point without space. Mark Mackey was in the right place at the right time. No simplistic opportunities then, but converted. The margin, back to the one goal. Mackey then to Namath. Namath on the point is Shudra. Shudra shoots. The merest of deflections from Mackey, but got too much stick on it, and it took it over. Shudra again on the point. The rebound comes out to Namath. Namath's shot is blocked out by the combined efforts of Edmiston and the netminder. And again, it's the Sheffield Steelers who are putting on some concerted effort. Chabot then, Chabot going into the neutral zone, circling and bringing some defensive let-offs for the Medway Bears, and also, more importantly for his side, counting down the seconds on Clement's penalty. As we come through then, Namath winding up, faking the shot, dinking it inside to Shudra. Shudra to Wood. And no! The ball is there from Mackey! The second power play of the evening. Levels it out at 3-2. And Ross played it ever so well there because they waited the chance to piece out the passes.
Steve demonstrated a lot of patience there, giving and taking the shot, passing over back to Ron Shudra. Somehow, a marvelous pass into Mark Mackey, who made an unbelievable finish. It was just a great goal all around.
Tendering pass. Namath then, Namath hits the outside of the post. And Dean Russell Samways knew very little of it, and he got his angles wrong. He left just that merest of gaps. But the play doesn't stop in this game. A big hit there from Namath. Namath setting Mackey away. Mackey shoots off target. Perhaps the pass inside to Nick Rothwell would have been more advised, as Rothwell was unattended, unmarked, going on the outside of him. Goal, and that's the goal. And that's what we were talking about getting hit on the counter. And I think it's Clement who's got it again. We'll have to wait for the official announcement, but I think it's Clement. Either way, It could be McEwen, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, it's the Bears who lead. 5 goals to 4. Power play comes to nothing. The Medway Bears back to full strength, and onto the ice coming back, Ali Roger. A little bit unfortunate perhaps to have been the only man called for cross-checking. With 6 and 1.5 a dozen of another, but our referee this evening, Mr. Jenkins from Grimsby, probably just turned around and saw him as the offender rather than both of them at it. And there'll be another penalty in here.
That'll be a slashing call on, I believe, Foley.
Foley gets a slashing call then.
He gave him a pretty good two-hander on the arm there. I don't know if he meant to do it as hard as he did.
Penalty for the Sheffield Steelers. Number 22, Feldy, receives a 5 plus a game penalty for slashing.
Brought out of the game then.
Feldy, 22, Sheffield Steelers.
He must have thought it more serious than that.
A game for slashing.
It looked pretty bad, but I don't know if it warranted a game suspension. A penalty was certainly in order, but a game suspension may be questionable.
The Steelers got a lot to do in this thing, final period. Well, it's just a question of whether they can do it. Trailing by 4 goals to 5. They have a man in the box who's currently serving out a penalty. A minute left on his 5-minute penalty for roughing, and then he's out of the game. That's Phil Lee, so that's a big blow. They can't afford to, and they have done. They've conceded another one. And right at the opening for the final period, they've conceded a goal, and McNaught is the man that gets it. And that stretches it to a 2-goal margin, 4 goals to 6. Mackie then, Mackie Shudra. Mackie and Shudra on, as is Robbie Saunders. On the ice for the Medway Bears, it's McEwen, Edmiston, McNaught.
I think someone just got a misconduct penalty.
And
delay in the game.
The delay in the game penalty, and that's on Mackie. And as if the woes weren't piling up enough for the Sheffield Steelers, a stupid penalty then. Mackie goes in the box.
I'd have to question the referee on that call at this point in the game. The Steelers are down.
Penalty for the Sheffield Steelers, number 21, Mark Mackie.
Really, I mean,
receives a 2-minute penalty.
There's a goal coming in. And that's just the game.
I think you can give that assist to the referee, Jenkins.
Well, the goal scorer, when he turns his back on me, I'll be able to tell you who it is. 11:25 left then in this, the final period. 2 goals in this period being recorded, and they've both gone to the Medway Bears. And the score currently stands at the Bears 7, the Steelers 4. Robbie Saunders then, making progress down the left wing, leaves it for Ronnie Wood, who leaves it behind, and this time Dean Edmiston. And another goal coming in, and that's Kevin McNaught. And that may well be the killing goal as far as the Sheffield Steelers are concerned. Do you think that's the case, Rob?
I don't want to rule anyone out yet, but 4 goals is an awful lot of goals, and as you can see, the Steelers are just seem to have lost something, lost their step. The Medway Bears definitely have the momentum now and could very well take it to the end of the game.
A goal for the Medway Bears, scored by number 22, Kevin McNaught, assisted by 27, Dean Edmiston. 22 from 27, goal timed at 49 minutes, 4-9-0-0.
McNaught gets it in the neutral zone, flips the pass through, and this is another opportunity, and it's another goal, and it's Gary McEwen. And it's all falling apart for the Sheffield Steelers as they go 4-9 down now. Mackie then, Mackie in for the drop, comes out to Shudra, Shudra shoots, scores! Won the point! What a run, Shudra! Brings it back to 4-goal deficit. 9-5 is now in favour of the Bears. seconds left, running on the clock as the time counts down, and it's all in favour of the Bears at the moment. They lead by 9-5. Anything can happen. Shudra then, Shudra scores! What Shudra? And Wales will soon repeat himself. Another assisted goal from Ron Shudra. Mark Mackey then in for the Sheffield Steelers, and at the moment they've got a buzz going. They've got a roll going. Mark Mackey then knocks it around. Trying to pick up Gary Cox, can't do so. Shudra shoots. One's flipped up in the air and it's collected by Clement. Clement tries to dink it inside Wood. Wood's back checking, sees him get away. It comes out to Robbie Saunders. Robbie Saunders going in, centering past, and is dispossessed, and a wonderful challenge there coming in from Edmiston. And Edmiston saves his side then when there was a possibility of a scoring chance. That one's flipped away round back by Russell Dove. Russell Dove getting some ice time. Ronnie Wood to Shudra. 40 seconds left in this, the final period. Reminder of the score, it's still the Bears leading the Steelers by 9-7. Ronnie Wood then. Ronnie Wood nearly giving it away. But this time it does come out. It comes out to the red line and it's collected by Shudra, who shunts it on. Shudra in a scrum for him. He loses out to Edmiston. Edmiston getting hooked back by Shudra. Nothing's given, and I don't think anything will be given at this particular stage. And Edmiston getting his own back by doing a little bit of hooking himself. 7 seconds left, and the Bears have got this one in the bag. There's no two ways about that. The clock is counted down, and that's the end of the game.
Everybody played well, and I thought we were going to take them there for a while. Then when we lost Steve and Phil, we still kept on playing. And when I said we let up for 5 minutes, that's what hurt us. They scored what, 4 goals in those 5 minutes?
Is that a defensive problem that you are going to be working on in training, do you think?
Well, we'll be working on everything, I imagine. But it's just one of those things that happened. We just let up, and against a team like Medway, you just can't afford to do that.
Your power play goals then, 2 in quick succession at the beginning of the second period. Good initial approach play, left you with really a relatively easy task to just pop it into the back of the net.
Yeah, well, we've been working on the power play, and tonight we're showing. And, things weren't going our way for the whole game, in other words.
What's a disappointing result for you, but overall you're not too despondent about it?
I wish we would have won that one, because, first place, it means a lot to the guys and myself. We still got 1 point up on them, so we just got to hold on.
Well, that's right. Have you got the chance to get revenge against them?
No, we played them 4 times. They beat us twice, we beat them twice.
Oh, it's even Stevens, so that...
Yeah, and every game's been a 1-goal game, except for tonight it was a 2-goal game.
Right, Kevin McNaught, play coach of the Medway Bears. Your reaction to what really could be a decisive victory for you?
Yeah, I think maybe towards the end of the year now, you look at these games, and they are 4-point games when you look at it that way with Sheffield. We came out in this game. We knew it was going to be a tough game. I think we had a couple of breaks early with penalties, and we didn't capitalize on a couple of our goals. But we came here ready, and I said, in a way, when you get a big crowd like you have here, sometimes it's tough for the home team, because it actually does motivate the away team more than they would if you went into a crowd that was empty. I know we played in here last time. I think there was a couple of thousand people, and it was quiet and especially tough, I think, for the away team more than the home team. So you get a crowd like that, and they're loud and they're boisterous. Anybody with pride wants to go out there and perform.
You're looking now as though you're going to be dead certainties for the promotion playoffs. It's getting round to that time of the year where you've got to address that problem, and what your thoughts are about that. What are your hopes and aspirations? Obviously, are that you make it to the Heineken Division 1. Do you think that is a realistic possibility, having been relegated out of it last year?
Yeah, I think without question, we definitely want to go in there in the playoffs in first place. That is our goal, and has been our goal all season. I don't know how the draws. They're talking about drawing all the teams out of a hat, and I think maybe that doesn't give much of a reward for the team who finishes in first place. And I think it would be unfortunate. I think probably if there's any two teams out of the playoff teams, and I think there's 8 teams in the playoffs. I think probably the two teams that want it the most right now, and I guess it's pretty brave for me to say this, but I think the two teams that want it the most are both Sheffield and ourselves. So I think maybe it'd be a shame if we were both drawn in the same group, because there'd be one of us that wouldn't be able, even though we might be better than the other group. So I'm hoping that they maybe split up the bottom two teams in first division, the Heineken first, and split up the top. Split up the bottom two teams in Heineken first that are going in the playoffs, and maybe split up the top two teams in the English first, and then go about it that way, because then you're fair to the two top teams in the English league, and then again you're fair to the two Division 1 teams who are already there, and you don't want to have them both in the same group, which means that one of them has to go down.
Final question to you. It's your second visit to the Sheffield Arena. It's probably the first time that it's been full for an ice hockey match. 8,300 sellout, people not able to get in. Would you like to think that that's the way that British ice hockey is going to go?
Yeah, I think a lot has to do getting people in. Again, a complex like you do here is sometimes people who don't know much about ice hockey, have never been into an ice hockey game, come in maybe number one for the complex. I've never been to that rink. It's supposed to, they hear so much about it. They come, and then hockey proves itself. And that's the same, I think, in Medway. What we do is we try to get people introduced into the game somehow, get them to come to the game, and I think the game will sell itself. It's on satellite an awful lot now, and it's just growing and growing. So I think with a few more facilities like the arena here, ours is small, and it's tough for us to compete against teams that have the fans that you have here. Even tough to compete against teams like Cardiff, and I think they have maybe 2,500, 3,000 fans every game. But it's tough when we maybe get 1,000 people a game, and not all of them are paying. We have a lot of comps out as well. It's tough to balance the books and compete against teams like that. So, I'm not whining about that, but I think what happens is you get new rinks like this, and it just brings the mass media of people coming to watch it. And I think TV would be important to get TV involved. And once they see that there are that many people watching the game, then you get TV involved more, and then sponsors come in, and there's just a lot more money being pushed into the sport.
Okay, Kev, I'll let you get a shower now, and thanks very much for the interview, and well done on a 9-7 victory. Thank you.
Right.
The weekend results proved disastrous for the Steelers in their quest for the championship. A further defeat at Solihull 5-6 on Sunday the 12th of January and Medway's 13-2 win over Haringey now meant that the Steelers had dropped 3 points behind Medway, but with a game in hand. The Steelers now had to win all the remaining games of the season and hope that Medway would slip up. Oxford had crept into the playoffs positions and came to Sheffield to prove that as ED1 champions of last season there would be no pushover.
And the Steelers, having lost 2 games last weekend, will be looking to get back on the road, or on the rails, to certainly winning the Division 1 title. Long range shot from the neutral zone from Nemeth, didn't cause Kellen too much problems. That one's cut out by Ron Shudra. Ron Shudra, will he line up a shot? He does, he shoots, he scores! And that's the opening goal in this game. The Steelers taking the early lead with 3 minutes, 35 seconds gone on the clock. An unassisted goal from Ron Shudra. One will be collected then by Platcher. Platcher picking out Derek Flint at the top of the slot, but Flint's control was not good enough. Nemeth feigning the shot, feeds it to Shudra, and Shudra scores his second goal of the game. Steve Nemeth collecting the puck, feigning the shot, the centering pass to the top of the slot, put away with a first-time shot by Ron Shudra. 2-0 then, the Steelers lead the Stars. The time of the goal, 6 minutes exactly. Out to Darryl Morvan. Morvan tries to whip in the centering pass, which only succeeds in hitting Rocket Ron Shudra. John Gravel trying to feed backhand Pratchett, but he doesn't do so, and Namath on a breakout. Namath leaving it, and that's a goal to Foley. Steve Namath on the breakout. Lee supported well. Lee, a short-handed goal. It's the Stars with the third of the period so far. 3-0 then, the Steelers lead, and it's been more or less one-way traffic. Another goal would seal it, and they've got it. And the man that scored it is Gary Cox. Doesn't get on the end of very much, but this time, Cox is the man who gets it. A rare goal for Gary Cox. This one ought to come to the point, but it doesn't, as Namath dispossesses Paul Donohoe. And Pratchett does the same on Rocket Run Shudra. And the goal is in, but it'll be waved aside. Or will it? No, I think it is going to be given. So power play goal to the Oxford City Stars. The whistle had gone. It must have been an infringement by the Sheffield Steelers, and as a result the goal cancels out that infringement. The Stars are on the scoreboard. Ike Ravel skating hard, trying to line up a chance here, and the chance does come in, and it comes into Pratchett, but Havenham stops that one, and Ron Shudra sets it going with more open play going on, and Shudra has the chance, and Shudra scores! And Ron Shudra takes it all the way from his own zone into the crease and puts the Steelers on the board for the first time in this period. Knocked away then. Namath on a charge, 3-on-2. Namath tries the wrist shot, doesn't come to any good effect. Rothwell gets on the end of it, feeds Namath again. Mackey in there, it comes out to Lee to Mackey, and the goal is in. Mackey, when it looked as though Lee was going to shoot, he fed Mark Mackey, who popped it into the back of the net with Kelland drawn off his post, and that's the 6th goal for the Sheffield Steelers, and it's 5-goal margin now. It's a 3-on-2 here. Knocked out by Ronnie Wood to Robbie Saunders. Robbie Saunders having a quiet game this evening, unlike the big game he had against the Medway Bears. Brought out then. Pratchett in a one-on-one. Pratchett will score. No, he doesn't. Havenham knocks it away, but eventually it's knocked into the back of the net, and the decision is a goal. Mackey in on the drop then. Mackey wins it, feeds Shudra. Shudra attempts to knock it across to Phil Lee, doesn't get enough of the puck, and has to backtrack into his own defensive zone to collect the puck again. Feeds it to Mackey. Mackey knocks it out to Namath. Namath shoots and scores from the point. And the immediate reply from Steve Namath cancels out Pratchett's goal early in the third period. Rocket Run lining up a shot then. Doesn't get there. Rothwell coming in, centering pass to Steve Namath, but he couldn't get on the end of it. Rothwell hit on the boards by Dave Wilson, and play brought to an abrupt halt there, or the sequence of play brought to an abrupt halt. Namath then. Namath hunting for another goal, and he gets it. And Namath gets that goal. The second in quick succession. Tried to beat Kelland on his left-hand side. Didn't do so. The puck rebounded favourably for him, and he obliged by tucking it into the back of the net. 8-2 is the score, and with fingers crossed, one has to say that the Sheffield Steelers just about have this one in the bag. 15:02. The goal this time was 15:02 left in the final period. 8-2 is the score, and the Steelers getting their train back on the rails after last week's 2 reversals. The first at home to the Medway Bears in a top-of-the-table clash, and then unexpectedly that defeat at Solihull Barons by 6-5 the following evening. That was, albeit, a depleted Steelers side without the services of Steve Namath, but nonetheless a bad reversal. Comes out then, the shot comes in from Robert Saunders, the rebound comes out, and the score is Gary Cox, and that's 3 in quick succession. Cox gets the second of the evening, 9-2 is the score. And we've got Phil Lee. Phil Lee will pass this out to Namath. Namath trying to pick up Ron Shudra. Shudra not able to get it. Pratchett on a one-on-one with Havenhand. Havenhand makes himself big and stops Pratchett scoring, but there's going to be a penalty on this, and I think it's for cross-checking, and it probably will go into Ronnie Shudra. But I think the offence came in from Ron Shudra, and in the opinion of our referee, Mr. Colin Sampson, he assessed the situation that Pratchett would probably have scored. He gets the penalty shot. A one-on-one is Pratchett with Havenhand, and fails to convert it as Havenhand raises the roof. Teammates and the Oxford City Stars on a penalty shot. Pratchett, the penalty counting down, the power play not converted once again unless this shot goes in. Fails to find the target. Gravel then. Havenhand knocking that one away from Gravel, and the assist coming in there from Derek Flint, but neither of them could put it away. And this one will come out to Namath, who shoots, and the goal is scored. And it's Nick Rothwell getting his first goal ever for the Sheffield Steelers. Rothwell picking up a duckpin goal, and for those of you who don't know what that is, that's picking up the pieces as the rebound came out and knocking it in from a couple of yards. Mark Mackey then. Mark Mackey wins it, comes out to Russell Dove. The flowing locks of Russell Dove hanging out underneath his helmet, from behind his helmet at least. And the commentator who's doing this has nothing but envy for somebody of Russell Dove's hairline. And the goal! And the scorer, Paul Thompson, I believe. We'll get confirmation on that, but I think it's Paul Thompson. 17, Derek Flint. Derek Flint, good defensive work. Feeds it around the boards to Wilson. Wilson knocks it down, and it's shunted into number 10, Stephen Dunn. First time we've seen Stephen Dunn on the ice tonight. Youngster, nice to see him get some ice time. A breakout then, and Robbie Saunders on a breakout. Alan Haig. Right, Dan Pratchett, player coach of the Oxford City Stars. Bad reversal for you, and something that's bucked the trend really, because you've been playing quite well recently.
Yeah, we've had a few good games. We've had a few, real close games. We've had two real good results against Medway, two draws against them, one home, one away. And then it's Jekyll and Hyde. We played a real bad game tonight, and we just weren't in it. We had the chances. Andy played well for them, and we just couldn't bear it.
You got man of the match. It was pretty difficult to pick out a man of the match for your side, but I thought number 15. Donahoe had a particularly good game, and perhaps the trend is to give him Ports the man of the match awards, but perhaps he was probably one of the successes on the evening for you.
Yeah, we had a few good guys, you know, and I was surprised to get man of the match. You know, because the trend, unfortunately, well, we get man of the matches, but you know, most buildings like our own, we like to give it to a British guy, because they're the guys who do the unseen work in the corners, and they're the guys who get me the puck. Dave Wilson had a great game for us on D. You know, we went 3D all night. Dave, Darryl Morvan, and a young kid Andrew Medway just back from a broken leg. We went 3D all night, and all three of them played great games. They all did well. No fault to them for the loss. And you know, like Donahoe played well. A couple other British guys played well, and John Gravel, the other import, he did a really good job working in there. You know, he had a good cut across his face from an accidental from Steve, and. You know, just one of those nights.
Andy, for clarification for the Sheffield Steelers fans, what is the position vis-a-vis your move from the Humberside Seahawks to this wonderful club that we have here at the Sheffield Steelers?
Well, they've done everything pretty much by the book. They've satisfied all the financial requirements initially set by Humberside. However, Humberside are sort of being a little awkward about the situation. It's a little up in the air just now. I'm so confident I'll be here. There's no way, absolutely no way I would be playing any more games this season from their point of view or my point of view. And the BIHA is on my side, so it's only a matter of time until we get it sorted out.
I think also that coming to a club like the Sheffield Steelers with well, the presentation that is being put forward tonight can only, first of all, do your career good, and it must be a pleasing thing that you're moving to such a club that has a large outlook on the game.
Well, I mean, Ronnie wants me here for more than just playing as well. I mean, the whole idea, although I'm sure a lot of people would like to take claim for it, I mean, I did a lot of work in Humberside during the summer raising money, and I know what I can do if I'm allowed to do it, and the potential is here. And I think Ronnie sees that as a positive factor as well. So I think between the two of us, I'm sure we can make things work really well.
Having seen tonight's game against the Oxford City Stars, obviously the playing side of it will not present any problems to you whatsoever. But do you think that the Steelers have a strong enough squad to get through those all-important promotion playoffs?
Well, we'll find it different. I mean, even your bad teams in the first division can still play a good two-line hockey, and I think that's going to be a little bit of a problem for them. I still think they can do it, because I've seen Trafford, I've seen Blackburn, and there's certainly no reason why they can't beat those teams. I mean, they're like one-player teams. As regards if they made promotion, they definitely would have to strengthen things up, and then Ronnie's aware of that too. I mean, if you had a really strong team just now, it'd be totally overkill. I mean, you're winning games anyways, so you know, what's the point of having, you know, Tony Hand here sort of thing when you're winning 12-2 or whatever the final score was.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome onto the ice, please, our visitors this evening, the Solent Vikings. They line up as follows: wearing 1, Michael Smith; wearing 2, Owen.
On February the 1st, the Solent Vikings entered the arena like lambs to the slaughter, in front of yet another record crowd, 8,350, a capacity crowd. Solent's previous visit on December the 21st resulted in a 23-7 victory for the Steelers, and they conceded 15 goals on their own ice at the Isle of Wight earlier that month. And with the Steelers on course to win all their remaining fixtures, another goal glut looked on the cards.
On comes Mr. Murphy after his misdemeanours and gets involved in it straight away. Dispossessed by Mark Mackey. Mackey to Namath. Namath centering pass, doesn't pick anyone out except Ron Shudra, who shoots and scores. And that's the first goal of the evening. Rocket Ron Shudra then, player coach here at the Sheffield Steelers, getting the first goal of the match. It's 1 to the Steelers, none to the Vikings. The drop 1 then, and it's won by Namath, who is dispossessed by Sean Murphy. Murphy getting himself in trouble in the neutral zone, and the hit comes in from Mackey. Phil Lee then, Phil Lee shoots and scores, and that's number 2. And that all stemmed from the fact that Sean Murphy, when he had the chance to get rid of the puck, decided not to do so, was closed down in the neutral zone, and a big hit from Mark Mackey dispossessed him, leaving Phil Lee the opportunity to score past Michael Smith and make it 2-0. Have we a chance, an opportunity for the Vikings to get out of their own zone? Well, they're into the neutral zone, but They're not making much progress. That one's flipped down the line and picks out Sean Murphy, who picks out McGann, who gets the return pass. Is controlled with a hand by Murphy. He tries to skate in on it, and Avenhand is aware of that, and Paul White makes a shot from the rebound. White again then scores for the Solent Vikings, and that's probably the first time that the Vikings have shown anything by the way of offensive skills, and they've got that goal back. It's 2-1. Russell Martin shunting it down, but only to be collected by Paul Thompson. Thompson leaving it to Shudra. Shudra flips that one up in the air, which is a favourite habit of his, and Namath collects it. Namath is dispossessed, finding Mackey. Namath in front, and draws the netminder and slips it between his legs for number 3 for the Steelers. Steve Namath then the scorer, and Mark Mackey the assist. McGann loses out to Shudra. Shudra hammers it around the boards and will pick up Namath. Namath bearing down on the net, but can he put this one away? And he has! And that's a goal from Steve Namath to stretch it to 4-1. Shudra the assist, Namath the scorer. And then with a chance again then, so it's Dave McGann, and there's a breakout here, and who can get to this puck first in the neutral zone? And indeed it's Ron Shudra who gets it, and he scores. He does. And it was 1 second from being a short-handed goal, but it wasn't. He'll probably get an unassisted accreditation for that. Shudra stretches it to 5-1. There we go again then. Phil Lee, good stick handling. Gets to the blue line, trying to go all the way. He can't go all the way. There's a 3-on-1 here for the Solent Vikings, and that one's centred across, and the goal is tucked away by Dave McGann, and that's nothing more than the deserved, because the Steelers, in fairness, look as though they think that they have this game in hand, and it's 5-2 now, and McGann was the scorer, and the assist was Sean Murphy. Both of them imports, of course, so that's the import connection for the Vikings coming into play. And away again then, and this time it's Rothwell, and this one will probably come out to Shudra, but Namath tries to do it all himself, works the angle and the opening, and Rothwell turns it in at the far post, past Michael Smith, but it's waved aside, I believe, but that one isn't. That one wasn't. The man that scored that one was Mark Mackey. And I think the initial one was a little bit too fast for the cameraman. Rothwell looked to have turned that one in, and it wasn't given. The second one certainly was. Mackey the scorer. We're underway again. It's 6-2. Mackey was the man that got the unassisted accreditation for the last goal, which stretched it from 5. So we've got another chance coming in there, and this time Rothwell is blocked out by Michael Smith at his glove hand post. Chance comes in, and in again there is Rothwell from the centering pass from Mackey. Rothwell involved here again. He'll try the wraparound. He does try the wraparound. He doesn't get a piece of it. Namath has it. This one's to Mackey, who feigns the shot and then turns it in. Rothwell and Namath assisting, and Mackey just feigning the original backhand shot, drawing Michael Smith and slipping it in for the softest of goals, but it counts just the same as any other, and it's 7-2 in favour of the Steelers over the Vikings. Gary Cox then dispossessed by Matt Painter. Painter taking it into the corner, hounded all the time by Lee, but he gets the centering pass in, which doesn't find anyone. And the Solent Vikings have an opportunity here. Can they turn it in? Oh, and number Paul Chaffers took it away from Matt Painter. And I think they were disgusted with their own involvement there, and there's a scrum and a fight starting here, and Phil Lee's involved there. Buddy Wood was involved. The two men involved, Matt Painter and Paul Chaffers. for the Solent Vikings, and Phil Lee will incur a roughing penalty, and I think that was a little bit of bad temper. This one will come round again to Haig. Haig dinks it back to Shudra. Shudra still retains possession, goes into the slot and scores! In almost a carbon copy of what happened a minute ago. The difference being this time Michael Smith can't stop it. A wonderful save that he made, repeated, and Ron Shudra with perhaps an unassisted goal. If the officials are being totally generous, they'll credit Alan Haig with the assist, but perhaps an unassisted goal to Ron Shudra. It's a double power play, as it were, for the Solent Vikings, and really it would be nice to see them take advantage of it. Schaefer here. Schaefer's lines up the shot, but doesn't take it, and this time the wraparound attempt comes in from Sean Murphy. The Namath's penalty is counting down, but reminder that Wood is still in the box. That shot comes in, and David Schaefer. A short-handed chance here for Steve Namath. Can he score it? He can! He can, and he came onto the ice into the neutral zone, was fed the pass, a one-on-one with Michael Smith. Namath scores a short-handed goal, and, well, what can you say, 9-2. And while everything was going on there, the penalty had counted down. So on the play now is Russell Martin. Russell Martin dispossessed. This one will be shunted across. And surely a holding penalty there. And now referee Mr. Jenkins waves it aside, and Ron Wood puts this one away. Ronnie Wood scores, and that's 3 in the last minute and a half of this period. Ronnie Wood, the scorer, his first goal of the evening. And well, the Steelers stretched it to 11 goals to 2. Into the neutral zone then. In the neutral zone it's collected by Mark Wallace. Mark Wallace pumps the puck into the corner. It's collected by Ron Wood, who tries the centering pass across the face of the neutral zone, intended for Robbie Saunders. Robbie Saunders perhaps will get in on the end of this, and eventually a little bit of hasty stick work extricates the Vikings from what could have been a tricky situation. So it's Robbie Saunders again. Michael Smith not knowing where the puck is, but deciding to stay on his post, which is a fatal thing to do, and the man who scores is Gary Cox. And Smith should do that, and Cox salutes on the halfway line to say thank you very much, as he sticks away the Sheffield Steelers' 12th goal of the evening and stretches the lead to 10. Gary Cox, the scorer. His first goal is Paul White. Paul White, sorry, I beg his pardon, it's 17, Paul Chafers. Paul Chafers, I thought it was 7, which would be Paul White. He took that horrendous hit in the second period and hasn't re-emerged. Sean Judge decides that a triple Salco is the order of the day. The only trouble is he doesn't land it, and as a result it's a 2-on-1, and skating in is Mark Mackey for the centering pass, and Mackey scores! Ronnie Wood centering pass, Namath to Wood, centering pass, and Mackey knocks it in past Michael Smith, and that's number 13 for the Sheffield Steelers here this evening against the Solent Vikings. And, well, they're on the power play, but you wouldn't believe it. Good stick play then. Good, wonderful stick play, and he just loses it the vital second. And that was Sean Murphy, and there's a breakout 2-on-1. And it's Rothwell, and inside of him is Mackey, but Rothwell will try all the way, and he gets it. And Michael Smith slams his stick against the crossbar in total and utter belief, as that one squirms off his pads in between his legs and dribbles over the line. for the 14th goal for the Sheffield Steelers. Centering pass coming in the general direction of Robbie Saunders. Saunders can't get in on the end of it. The puck is passed down the ice and collected by Matt Painter, who is dispossessed, and Lee, who's a defenseman, comes out on the attack, feeds it inside to Robbie Saunders. A chance comes in, and that's swept into the back of the net by Ronnie Wood. And Ronnie Wood does his impersonation of a ballet dancer on skates as he can't hide the glee that is within him as he scores another goal, and the Steelers on fire at 15 goals to 2. Havenham kills the play there. It's a spot the face competition, and number 20 on our first visit here has been claimed by Mr. Gary Toyle, I believe it is, of Langley Mill, Nottingham. So that's how far people come to watch the Sheffield Steelers. Nottingham, Langley Mill in between Mansfield and Nottingham, and he's won one of our free videos, and he gets the choice of one of the games. He can have whichever one he wants that we've currently produced. And Phil Rodrigo comes in and cuts out the centering pass and presents an opportunity to the Solent Vikings, which is gratefully accepted. And the Vikings not making anything of the power play, which is not for the first time this evening. That one's not through, and Robbie Saunders gifts it, and the shot comes in, a wrist shot from Mark Wallace, which is off target, and Namath sets off, skating hard through the neutral zone. Namath will go all the way here, I'm quite sure. Centering pass, and the goal comes in from Robbie Saunders, and all of the spade right there done by Steve Namath. One thought that he would shoot, he didn't. He showed unselfishness and fed Robbie Saunders, and Saunders knocked it away. Namath gets the assist. It's now 16 goals to 3 in favour of the Steelers. Hi, Gary Cox with me, scorer of a goal this evening.
Yes, thank you very much. Great goal, isn't it?
They're all good if they're going, I suppose.
That's the way I look at it, 'cause I'm good with lucky ones, not good with, with classic finishing, Steve Namath type.
What happened with this saluting business on the halfway line then? Is this just something that you've put together for the crowd?
Well, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy it?
Well, we know it's coming.
Well, I don't know, it's just something me and Andy got together, said do something for the crowd. When I eventually score, I'll go and do it, I'll salute, so.
2 goals in the last home game. We weren't able to get you. You disappeared, much to our disappointment, so we've got you on camera this time. Have you anything to say about the playoffs and the possibilities for the playoffs to the Sheffield Steelers fans?
Yeah, I think we're going to win. We're going to be there. We'll stand up and be counted.
Even after 10 straight regular season wins, the Steelers waited in vain for Medway to slip up, and with just 2 games to go against the bottom 2 clubs, the Steelers had the playoffs very much in mind. Extra seats were installed to meet the demand for the final weekend fixtures, with 9,750 to watch the demolition of Sunderland, which was a performance especially for the fans.
Now finally we're going to have a word on ice so you can put the voice to the name of a man that has done so much work to bring ice hockey to Sheffield and to generate crowds and interest in the Sheffield area that makes sellouts and extra seats being put in there. We want you to bring your hands together in a big appreciation to your general manager here at Sheffield, Ronnie Wood. Sheffield Steelers Select. When you were here that first night, did you ever think that at the end of the first season we'd be putting extra seats in the arena there?
I still can't believe it tonight, and I just think the Sheffield people have supported us so well. As long as we can keep doing the same job, we'll keep you happy.
It took 14 minutes for the Steelers to keep the fans happy on this occasion, but this bullet from Namath was unstoppable, even by Stephen Clark, the Sunderland netminder, who stood on his head right throughout the first period. Nemeth again delivers a bullet high over the red line. Even that was too hot for Clark to handle. 2-0 at the end of the first period. And though Sunderland will come here with, on paper, no chance whatsoever, they put up a fight of it. Shudra getting this opportunity, another bullet into the top left-hand corner, giving Clark no chance whatsoever. 3-0 now to the Steelers. Sunderland got a 3-on-1 break, and after good work by Kevin Muster, a simple tap-in for Randy Ewens makes it 3-1. And with Sunderland having lost 26 of their 31 games this season, the big occasion obviously G'd them up. Kevin Hovenhand at full stretch to stop George Eaton on this occasion. But the Steelers always look dangerous. And Ron Shudra scoops that one into the net for his second of the night. With a perfect pass from Mark Mackey. Shudra again from the red line, crosses the blue line, bullet. 6-1 to the Steelers. After a slow start, the Steelers were starting to pile on the pressure and were camped in the Sunderland defensive zone for most of the second period. Eventually, Mackey feeds it through. Phil Lee, bullet, 7-1. Breakout for the Steelers down the left wing. Nemeth feeds in a perfect pass to Kevin Havenham to slow it past Clark. 8-1 now to the Steelers and a delighted Kevin Havenham. With the scoreboard failing to register that goal, Sunderland couldn't clear the defensive zone. The puck breaks for Shudra, slap shot, and there's Nick Rothwell to tidy up. Yet another dustbin goal for Rothwell. From the face-off, Phil Lee bullets this one in, and Sunderland are dead and buried. A left-wing centering pass from Mark Mackey gives an opportunity for Nemeth, but Phil Lee grabs another one. now. Ron Wood takes a break down the right, pulls over to the left, pops in a perfect centering pass, and there's number 2, Sean Judge, to grab a raw goal for Sean. Well done, Sean Judge. 11-2 was the final score. The Steelers thrashed Solent again by 30 goals to 4 to make it 12 straight wins, but Medway held off the challenge to become the ED1 champions, although Sheffield finished the highest scorers with 378 goals in the season. With the top 5 teams from ED1 entering the playoff groupings, 2 groups were drawn from a hat, which came out as follows. Group A consisted of Trafford, who finished at the foot of Heineken Division 1, Medway, who finished champions of English Division 1, along with Streatham and Oxford, who finished with identical records as 3rd and 4th in English Division 1. Group B had Chelmsford, who finished 5th in English Division 1, Livingston, who were the Scottish champions, Blackburn from the Heineken Division 1, and of course the Sheffield Steelers, runners-up of English Division 1. The 2-week break gave the players a welcome rest and preparation time for the playoffs, but for Ron Wood as general manager, the extra 6 playoff games meant many hours behind his desk, organising and planning and coping with a huge demand for tickets for both home and away games.
Right.
Sharon and Anne answered literally hundreds of telephone calls per day, and trying to satisfy nearly 10,000 people on 3 separate occasions demands skill and patience, especially when each fan has a particular favourite seat. The printers and next year's major sponsor, B&B Press, have programmes to prepare, and of course, long-term plans for next season need to be finalised.
Which is nice. But, like I say, the hardest part is to keep it going, and that's the concentration. I mean, we've got to get a firm base next year.
What sort of timescale are you looking at for this peak to continue then?
Well, I would say that we're probably looking another 2 years.
I was going to say, it's
once we get into the Premier League, yeah, we get promotion next year, everybody will be with us. We get into the Premier League, everybody will be with us. Depending how we do in the Premier League. That'll be a tougher one.
Players' equipment is Ron Shearer's department, and this light-hearted illustration pinned on the office wall suggests that underneath all that padding, this new range of gear will be compulsory in Heineken Division 1 next season. On a more serious note, Ron explained to me the rather complex business of sticks, wood or aluminium.
My personal choice are these right here. 2 aluminum, or as you say, aluminium over here. But if you look the way they're spelt, it's aluminum. There's no I in the end. It's UM, not IUM. Just my choice because they're a little more stiff than the wooden shafted sticks are. With these, there's as you can see, there's lots of different patterns of them. You get some that are stiffer than others, which is what the gold one here is a little bit stiffer than this one here. But for handling the puck, this one is maybe a little better than this one is. But for shooting, this one is than this one.
What's the difference in the sort of makeup of the stick between the gold and the silver then? Is there any particular difference in?
Just that the way the silver one is shaped, it's called an Easton convex stiff is what it is. So it's sort of rounded as compared to the gold shafted stick here, which is more or less your wooden shape, which is just all square. Just slightly different materials used in them.
How many sticks like that would you expect to get through in a season then?
Well, these ones here, they're not really supposed to break in the shaft. But last game, if you were watching the one against Cleveland, no, Cleveland, that's what I did to this one. It kind of snapped it right in half. You're not supposed to do that, but I did it. So you can go through normally with the way they're bending and things like that. Usually 3 or 4, and then you can obviously give them to players that don't quite shoot as hard as you do, and they're fine for the rest of the life of the stick.
Just 2 days before the first playoff match, the Sheffield Arena staged a forum, giving the Steelers fans the opportunity to fire questions at the players, air any grievances and inquire future plans. A brave and very thoughtful gesture by General Manager Ron Wood. A whole variety of questions came from the floor, hosted by DJ and MC David Sims.
Who's going to be first? Chap over there. Right, let's know the name first and then fire away with your question.
Goldsmith. 2 points I'd like to say. First of all, with so many young ladies supporting the club, perhaps we could have a cheerleaders organisation. It sounds like a popular idea. I was thinking. Perhaps they might be able to be allowed on the ice so that it's an ice skating cheerleading group, and then when the players are on the ice, then by the side. As I say, I think you've got yourselves a job there to start with. Second point is that in the press you've been on about expanding the club in some ways, especially with another ice rink. For practice and like, perhaps you could fill us in with more information about this, please.
Okay, first things first, with regards to the cheerleaders, I think we're more than happy to look at something like that for next year. I don't think we'll be short of volunteers, and I dare say I leave it to Mr. Sugar there to pick the ones that he was thinking would do the best job.
For a score prediction, madam. Can you give us a score prediction?
10-4 to Steelers.
10-4.
I would be, say, 7-4 to the Steelers.
7-4
to the Steelers, yeah.
Thank you very much. Excuse me, sir. We're looking for a score prediction. Can you give us a score prediction, please?
7-4 Steelers.
7-4 to the Steelers?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.
We're going to win, that's all that matters.
What score? Can you give us a guess?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Any score predictions? Score prediction tonight? What's the score going to be?
10-6.
10-6 to the Steelers.
30-0. 10-4 Steelers.
10-4 the Steelers. Okay. Have you got a score prediction for us? Can you tell us what the score is going to be?
10-4 to Steelers.
10-4 Steelers.
10-4 to the Steelers.
Over and out.
Thank you.
Yes, Chelmsford 12, Sheffield 3.
Thank you. Have you got a score prediction for us for tonight's game, please? Can you tell us?
I mean that the Steelers will definitely win.
Have you any idea of the score?
No, doesn't really matter as long as we
10-4
win.
seems to be popular. Do you think
Is
it's going to
it?
be
No.
14,
Oh no, 8. No, not exceed 10. No,
Not
exceed 10. But we'll win well.
Thank you.
Meeting, we called a meeting.
Yes, we did.
And we think it was anonymous. I thought 10-3 and they said 8-3.
8-3.
Oh,
Obviously
even
to
if
the
you will, we
Steelers.
said 6-8.
Oh, of course.
8-6
to the Steelers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. 10-0 minimum.
10-0.
Yeah, oh yeah. Andy's not going to let one in.
Right.
Thank you.
Free foul.
Whichever Andy we've got, you can't lose with that one, can you?
Okay, so with us at Chelmsford is Ronnie Wood. What's the feeling on the bus, Ron, on the way down?
Well, everybody's quite tense, and
we're looking forward to getting this started. I think the delay, you know, with the last league game, and we've had a week off. I think everybody's just want to get out there and do the job tonight. So everybody's quite quiet. And, you know, there's no overconfidence. There's nothing. It's just a straightforward. We've got a job to do tonight, and we're going to make sure we do it.
Because Chelmsford, I would guess, would be probably seen as being perhaps the strongest team out of the playoff group other than yourself. So I would suggest that being the first match, if you win tonight, it's quite an obstacle over with. I mean, do you see that the same?
Well, I think the Chelmsford away game was always going to be the toughest fixture we had, simply because we've never comprehensively beaten them this year. We've always had the better results, but yeah, it's playoffs. You know, anything can happen in the playoffs, and I just think that mentally, as long as we're tuned up and ready to go, I don't think we should have a problem. But like I say, nothing's guaranteed in life, and I think as long as everybody gives the commitment that's required tonight, we'll come through with flying colours and get off to a good start.
What about Mark Mackey? He received quite a nasty blow to his nose. What's the outcome of that?
Well, Mark's got multiple fracture of his nose. He's going to get operated on Tuesday. He wants to get over and done with in order that he can be fit for next weekend. He's doing us a good service by playing tonight, but that's the kind of guy he is. You know, he's 110% committed to us getting promotion this year, and we'll try and look after him a bit tonight. But you know, he's big enough and ugly enough to look after himself, and I'm sure he'll do it.
Well, the best of luck, Ron. Thanks very much.
Our only convenient camera position was perched on 2 restaurant tables in the corner, but we were able to get a good view of this goal from Ron Shudra. Nathan Wu nearly getting hold of the bullet from Shudra. 1-0 after 2 minutes and 4 seconds. The Steelers were finding it difficult to cope with the Chelmsford imports, Stokes and particularly Smith. And eventually, when the puck was fed in from the left to Smith, it was Adam Anderson who managed to put it away 1-1 after 6:39. The remainder of the period, both netminders were very prominent in this game, facing 18 shots each. And the score remained at 1-1 throughout the first period. Into the second period now. And within 17 seconds of the restart, Ron Wood picks it up at the far post, wallop. 2-1 to the Steelers. Two minutes later, another right-hand cross, this time popped in by Mark Mackey with assistance from Ron Wood and Paul Thompson. 3-1 to the Steelers. The Steelers defencemen were looking somewhat sluggish, but fortunately Andy Donald was put to the first real test since joining the Steelers. Here again, we see Donald in action, pulling off 1, 2, and coming up with 3 saves. Chelmsford enjoyed good pressure early in the second period. Smith feeds Gabel, shot. Donald serves on 3 occasions, but the defence failed to clear that one, and Stokes taps it in. 3-2 now to the Steelers. Once again, the Sheffield defenceman failed to clear his own, and a gift opportunity for Gabel, but once again, Donald is quick to react, and Carl Gabel gives a nice little tap on his helmet as if to say, well done, Andy. Chelmsford equalised when Robbie Saunders' slap shot luckily fell in the path of Stokes, who clinically finished. 3-3 now, after 35-54. Chelmsford went ahead 4-3 with this goal again from Mark Stokes. 3 goals for Stokes now, and Chelmsford can sense a victory. Into the third period, Smith gets it down the left-hand wing. Ashcroft's there, pops it across for Smith again. Feeds Anderson. And a simple poking there for Stokes. Goal 3 now to Chelmsford, much to the delight of these perspex slapping fans. Nathan Rue decides to throw a stick at Shudra, and a penalty is given. But Shudra makes no mistake with a penalty shot on 44-29, pulls it back, 5-3 now, gives some hope for the Steelers.
So the result of the penalty shot is therefore a goal to the Sheffield Steelers, scored by number 20, Ron Shudra.
On 48-57, Wood puts in a slap shot saved by Rue, but Ron Shudra makes no mistake. All level now, 5-all. But on 56-16, Smith feeds it through to Gabel, who feeds Stokes. 6-5 to Chelmsford Chieftains. .154 left. Nemeth is held back, but retaliates, slashing. And that's the end of the game for Steve Nemeth as he sits out a 2-minute penalty. As the partisan Chelmsford crowd count down the end of the game, a very dejected Ronnie Wood. Chelmsford had deserved this victory, but this is the worst possible start for the Steelers. Ronnie Wood always said that this was going to be the most difficult game, and how right he was. With us is Brad Duchan, the coach of Chelmsford Chieftains, and I notice you're a bit hoarse. You obviously enjoyed that as the first victory in the playoffs. How do you feel?
I'm totally elated. It was an unexpected victory, and I have a lot of respect for this club. I just feel that they came in here, they're under a lot of pressure. We had everything to gain, nothing to lose, and we went after them from the start, and you know, that's ice hockey. They had a few bad breaks. We had a goalie that stood on his head, and the guys came up for just a really superhuman effort, and extremely pleased with the win.
I noticed your first line spent an awful lot of time on the ice, certainly the first 1 or 2 periods, and it surprised me actually that they didn't tire a little, but they seemed to get this extra burst of energy. Is there a secret formula behind that?
Well, I tell you, those guys, they've been showing up every game, day in and day out, and I mean, you have to give all the players credit, but I'll tell you, these 3 imports, they've given 110% every shift, every game since I've been here, and you know, they were the difference. I gave them a week off last week, and I think it paid off. It's a long season here in England. I've been in Italy for the last 8-9 years, and I find that guys psychologically, they need the break, and physically they need the break, and I think it paid off, and I'm you know, really convinced that we can make a great showing here in the playoffs. I don't necessarily feel that, you know, we're a top contender as such, but if we keep playing like we did tonight, hey, anything can happen.
And to prove that very point, whilst the Steelers went down to Chelmsford, Livingston pulled off what appeared to be a surprise win at Blackburn. The following day, Livingston travelled to Sheffield, and I asked Laura Urquhart, team manager and wife of player coach Mike Urquhart, about the Livingston Kings.
At the moment, this is our first season. Last year, the Rams didn't do very well, and that was the team, as it was called before. And I think they were bottom of the league. I think they only won 3 games. New organisation, new team came in, and obviously we're trying to educate the locals that we are a winning team and we're here to stay. So it's just a question of getting them to come along. And also we play, unfortunately, the same night as the races. So people are torn between them. Murrayfield haven't had the best of seasons, so we're getting a spin-off on that. We're averaging sort of 500, I'd say, you know, which is good for this area, but that's something that we can work on now. Now we're a successful team. Next season, you know, we're hoping to pack the building, which holds 1,000 plus.
Right. I'll be honest, having not looked at the programme notes for what sort of season Livingston have had, I mean, could you tell us a little bit about the past season and how you've got yourself into these playoffs?
We've gone through the season winning the majority of our games. I think we only dropped about 4 points. Dundee were the closest rivals to us, and they've just had an extraordinary season. They've been winning all their games, and the morale in the team is very good as well.
Good. And morale was boosted after only 42 seconds when Brian Day got a fine individual goal to give the Livingston Kings a surprise lead. And then after 1 minute and 7 seconds, a charge from Phil Lee and David Adam knocked Adam completely unconscious. With Adam stretchered off to hospital, Phil Lee got a 5-minute charging penalty and a game misconduct. Good work by Mark Mackey on the right wing gave Steve Nemeth an opportunity to reply after 3 minutes and 12 seconds, bringing the score back to 1-1. Rothwell fed Nemeth again after 5 minutes, and Nemeth made no mistake with a wrist shot to the left-hand side of John Baxter. In 5:46, Nemeth took a break down the left wing, first time bullet, and it was a straight hat-trick for Steve Nemeth. 3 goals in 5 minutes and 46 seconds. 8.5 minutes gone, and Phil Thompson forges an opening for Ron Shooter, who knocks it in, but it's finished off by Nemeth. 4 goals in 8 minutes 31 seconds. Shudra puts in a bullet from the left wing to make it 5-1 after 10:43, and already Livingston looked out of ideas and dead. Serafinski picked up the pieces from that Nemeth left-hand shot. 6-1 after 19:29. After the first period, the Steelers were in the lead, 6-1. Into the second period. Good work there from Shudra, but another dustbin goal for Nick Rothwell makes it 7-1 to the Steelers. A red line battle won by Mark Mackey puts it through to Saunders, and Serafinski again with a low right hand wrist shot, his second of the night, makes it 8-1. Robbie Saunders again features in this one. Good cross there for Mark Mackey to finish off. 9-1 now to the Steelers. Nemeth picks a loose puck up behind the net, and Shudra slams it in to make it 10-1 on 27:39. Livingston are now well dead and buried, and the game is well beyond them. Touching the halfway stage of the game now, and the goal of the night coming up. Shudra defends well, feeds Steve Nemeth down the right wing, who delivers a bullet from the blue line. An absolute classic from Steve Nemeth. From a classic Nemeth goal to a classic Shudra goal. Even the netminder was waiting for a round-up, but instead he takes it all the way around. 12-1 now to the Steelers on 32:09. Goal 13 coming up. A simple tap in though for Steve Mammoth, but they all count. In a rare Livingston attack, Mike Urquhart feeds through and Bomber finishes. A power play goal for Livingston just before the end of the second period. In the third period, the rout continued. And you've guessed, Nick Rothwell got in yet another dustbin goal. Neil and Craig Bradbourne, Jamie Shepherd and Craig and Paul Cartledge, better known as Rubber Ronnie's band, were in fine form. Ron Shooter gave a gilt edge opportunity for Mark Mackey, who pops that one in with ease. 15-2 now to the Steelers. A deserved consolation goal for Mike Urquhart, unassisted for the Livingston Kings. But his goal meets with boos from the crowd. I thought that behaviour was reserved for Hillsborough, Bramall Lane or Millmore. (15-3) to the Steelers now. Namath gets a left-hand break, pops it in for Mackey. Clinical finish. And that's a hat-trick for Mark Mackey, and well deserved, on 53-51. With us after the game then we've got Bernard Serafinski. Bernard, obviously a completely different story tonight as to last night. How did you see it?
Well, as last night we tended to use just the first line, but tonight we mixed a lot of the players in. And with the crowd behind us, it helped 100%. You know.
Do you think that perhaps the last night was maybe seen as the preparation perhaps was wrong, or do you think that that last night the result made you actually go out and put yourself together tonight?
Yes, you know, you've asked me two questions. Last night the preparation was wrong. We haven't had ice since the last game, which was a week, last Friday. And tonight was really warmed up. We warmed ourselves up for tonight. You know, last night, sorry, for tonight. So tonight, you know, we had to make a point in this playoff situation that we can play.
That's right. Because of course Livingston beat Blackburn last night, so all we've got to hope is that Blackburn beat Chelmsford, and then we're all square. That would be a situation. But obviously this puts even more importance on the return match with Chelmsford. How are you going to face that one?
Well, on the return match from Chelmsford, the thing to do is get as many goals as we can to get a higher goal difference and win it that way. Depending on all the other games in the playoffs, we've just got to get a better goal difference against Chelmsford, you know, and put us ahead on aggregate.
Okay, Mike Urquhart from the Livingston team, obviously a little bit disappointed after the result. Mike, can you put a finger on what happened?
I think tonight is just Sheffield just overpowers. They out-hustled, outworked us and everything, and Steve Namath and Ron Stewart and Mark Mackey had a brilliant game. But this, you know, we just couldn't handle those two. Like the best imports we played against this year, and we all year long our league we kind of walked our league, and this is the first time we played a really decent hockey team.
I mean, Blackburn, you pretty well demolished Blackburn last night, and I suppose you may well have been surprised at hearing the result from the Chelmsford game. I mean, I know Sheffield last night were off form. Tonight they were very much on form. I mean, does this sort of end any ambition that you had of getting any further in the playoffs?
I'm quite happy. We planned this weekend to get 2 points in a row, and we picked our first win against Blackburn. And after I heard the score 6-5 against Chelmsford beat them, I thought the game would be a lot closer tonight. Maybe our guys were a little bit not as intense as we were in last night, and I think some of the guys were intimidated with the big crowd. I know the first couple of minutes, guys are watching the stand, you know, look up at all these people and everything. It was a great night for hockey for us. Tonight was a pleasure for us to come down from Scotland and play in such a great facility.
Okay, and with us also is Alan Haig, and Alan, a Sheffield lad, so as a Sheffield Alan, you must be sort of proud to see what's going on around you here in Sheffield.
Yeah, I am at the moment. It's looking good. A bit disappointed about last night, but we've got everything back on the road tonight, so we can get promotion now.
I would think that, I mean, obviously in a situation like this where you are limited on the amount of ice time that you can get for practice and training and one thing or another, how much is that sort of important to you that you do get that right in the end?
I don't know, we just have to keep going. We have to put 110% in every time we get on the ice, whether we're training, whether we're not training. We just got to put 110% out. Unfortunately, we didn't do it last night, so that's why we lost. But tonight, everybody put 110% in. We come away with a good result.
What actually happened last night in everybody's... I mean, you've all probably had time to talk about it, but what's the general feeling on the coach on the way home and this morning and in your preparation for today's game? What actually went wrong?
I don't know. It just didn't seem to click last night. Nobody put 110% in. We've got to do it now, more important in the playoffs than we have in the league. So it's just now we've just got to get it right. So.
What special preparations will you be making for next Saturday's game?
Well, we're hoping to get training this week. We're going to have to work a lot harder, work on set plays, skating, a lot of skating. I think there's a bit of flu knocking about in camp, so we just have to keep working harder and harder.
Every Steelers fan knew the importance of the return match with Chelmsford. David Sims, DJ and MC, had warmed the crowd up like never before, and to add to his duties, he was now the musical director. With new characters appearing, fancy dress and all, the BBC and RTV came to broadcast highlights, and it was a thrill to stand and have 10,000 people waving at me and my camera. And from his throne at the top of the arena, King David controlled the atmosphere with his pile of CDs. And when the Steelers emerged, they got the lift that they needed and they deserved.
To that way, shooter again, putting down Mark Mackey shot right through. So the first goal after only 1 minute and 6 seconds.
Scoring Streatham, 21 from 24 and 10. All time at 1 minute and 6 seconds. Your Steelers lead by...
Just the start that the Steelers have been looking for. And again, 2 goals up, 18:33 left within the first minute and a half. The Steelers have made amends already for that disaster last week at Chelmsford. Ronnie Wood quick there to get that one in, and he goes for a rest. He'll be delighted with that one. What a start for the Steelers. And he's giving an awful lot of work for Nick Rothwell to do to get anything from that one. Thompson. All the way through, just to be tapped on by O'Donnell. Had to think pretty quick then. Danger. Oh, and he got punished there. Rick Smith more or less saw the situation there. Donald, I think, will be guilty of not necessarily contributing wholly to that goal, Ian, but I think it was partly to blame. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he went out to handle the puck when he should have left it to the defenceman there. He was caught hopelessly out of position when Smith fired it into the centre of the net. Well, as you said, they've obviously learnt a lesson from last weekend. They realised Stokes and Smith are the danger men. They both got 100 goals apiece in the regular season.
That's right, and I think that a lesson was certainly learned from last week on that one. Oh, Saunders. Oh, and it was good work from Robbie Saunders on that one. I think he hit the near post, but it deflected, luckily for Ron Wood, who picks up a dustbin goal. And with 8:34 left in the first period, the score now is Sheffield Steelers 4, the Chieftains 1. Number 14, Gary Cox, a little bit unlucky there. Goebel feeds it across. Oh! That was quite a hit on Sean Hines, who got up there not knowing what day it was. And the pressure really building here, Ian.
Yeah, Chelmsford having real difficulties now.
Nemeth the shot, Rue saw that one, but deflected it upwards. Heavy check there from Saunders on Carl Rogers. Smith, and Donald deals with that one with ease. Nothing really to troubling too much. Glenn fighting in there. Comes back round. Lee dumps it again, but two Steelers players covering the same ground behind the net. Number 18, sorry, 19 total. Sorry, it was Ashcroft. I was a little bit unsighted there. We're a bit cramped up in our camera position today. I couldn't quite see that one. And what's been given there, Ian? What happened there? I'm sorry I missed it.
It was a goal there, Jim. Unfortunately, straight through Andy Donald's legs.
Well, that's how unsighted I was. Right, so it's 5-2. I apologise for that one, especially to Chelmsford. But the action replay will show exactly what happened there. I'm sorry about that. Tries to get through Sean Hines. Hines retains it in the corner. Slightly out of view of our camera, and it's Shooter comes away. He's been... Oh! And Shooter falls into the corner with a hook from Hines, and I don't know what's going to happen here. And it's a high sticks there from Sean Hines. And what did he say of that one, Ian?
Well, he was trying to hook Ron Shooter back all the time. I think Shooter was taking a bit of timber in the face.
Shooter passes it across for Lee. Lee, oh, just off target. And it comes all the way around. The sheer force of that one's brought it all the way back around to Andy Donald. And sorry, Ian, you were saying?
Yeah, I think Sheffield are quite happy to let the Chelmsford imports chase the puck around the ice and tie them.
I think that highlights the point that Ian was trying to make, and Nemeth just added to the misery of Chelmsford. They're not chasing it around, they're not picking up, and then through that was a good left-hand goal. Okay, Ron, so what a difference a week makes. If you can put your mind back exactly 1 week as tonight and how you felt at the end of the game. Completely different story tonight.
Yeah, it is. I think a lot of times when teams come into our building, it's a totally different story. It's a lot bigger ice surface. As I've been saying before, we've got the guys that like to skate with the puck with Steve and Phil and Mark. They like the wide open spaces when they can get it. And in this building, there's so much room. I think a lot of teams with a smaller rink such as Chelmsford and Livingston and things like that, they have a lot of trouble coming in here because it's so big. It takes a lot of time to get used to it, I guess. And like I said, there's lots of room. You get tired real quick.
Well, I think it was noticeable to me in looking at the way Chelmsford performed tonight, and I would say that they, and I've asked Brad about this as well, that they seemed to perform tonight perhaps in the same way as you did. They looked a little bit sluggish tonight in the same way as you looked sluggish on their ice. Would you agree with that?
Well, you know, they really rely on their imports. And if they're not scoring 4 or 5 goals a game, then they're really struggling. You know, we obviously rely on ours quite a bit as well, but we have guys in our second line that like to go in there and bang around a little bit, and that's what we told them to do today. If a goal comes, fine, go in there, bang in the corner sort of thing, and just try and do the job that way. And I think they're the ones that really set the game for us. You know, you can't give them enough credit. They like to work hard. They don't get an awful lot of credit, you know, going around in the papers and things like that in the media. So this is about the best time to give it to them.
Absolutely, I think that's very good as well, because I think the first line, my personal opinion is that last week I would like to have seen more of them on the ice at Chelmsford, but tonight, as you rightly said, that Chelmsford only played really with one line, and Stokes he was stifled out. Every time Stokes got it, you had 3 men around. Obviously, you put some thoughts into this during the week. Was that a strategy? Was that a plan?
Yeah, we talked about it pretty much on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what had to be done and how to play them. We knew that we could have utilized our bigger players a little better in their arena with Bernard and Rothwell. We didn't. We kept our first line out there way too much, and we suffered for it. Tonight we used them a little bit more. They got in there, and like I said, they banged around a little bit, maybe caught them a little off guard, got them a little tired, and I mean, with guys like Steve, I mean, you get tired and he's gone by you, and they don't have much of a choice or a chance.
Well, all it means now then is obviously you've got last week's disaster out the way now. By winning how you've won tonight, that means if you win all the rest of your games, they win all the rest of their games, you're still going to win anyway.
Yeah, as far as I know, it goes on goal difference. So we're up on them by 3, I think it is now. So I mean, if we don't stumble and lose another game, I think it's going to be a pretty surefire bet that we'll get promoted.
Right. Notice the bang on your chin. That was quite a knock.
Well, yeah, it was kind of it wasn't intentional. It was just an accidental sort of thing that just come up as I was going around him. That's part of the game. I mean, it hurts, but no, it doesn't. Just a little bit of ice and it'll go down. So it's not too bad.
Right, and Andy Donald, the man of the match for the Sheffield Steelers. Andy, obviously Chelmsford, you got the man of the match over there. You got it tonight. How did you see the game tonight compared with last week?
Well, we were a little tighter defensively last week. They were getting 3 or 4 shots in a row, or at least tonight you'd stop one shot and they would clear it, or near as clear it. I think the big ice made a difference to us, because last week we were kind of stale on small ice. You just can't get going.
Because it seemed noticeable to me that what happened to you last week, not you personally, but the team, is that you all seemed a bit stifled and a bit slow. I think Chelmsford gave that sort of impression a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think they played their best ever games of last week, according to their coach. But we didn't practice all week, and I think without, Steve was a bit under the weather. I hadn't been feeling too good, but at the end of the day, it was a good game for me because we had lots of shots. It's easier for me that way. I play a game like that better than I would like against Solent or something like that, because then it makes no difference if we had a cone in the net.
Last week we spoke to you, Brad. I think you'll agree it's been a different story this evening.
Absolutely. It's pretty much what I expected, to be quite honest with you. This is one heck of a hockey team, and as I said last week, I have a lot of respect for this club, and undoubtedly on this ice surface they just took advantage of the numbers that they have and the quality players that they have, and they dominated the game. As part of our guys, we played well, but maybe got off to a little rocky start, but there's not much, there's no way we can play that much better than that. This team just absolutely dominated the game from the start to finish, and they deserved it.
Have we anybody here from Sheffield supporting the Sheffield Steelers? Supporters Club, who have arranged all the away travel this season, taking over 1,200 people to Blackburn next weekend. Alien team.
1-2. First time shot stopped. Picked up in the corner by Nemeth, but he's swamped by Blackburn players who have obviously done their homework on him. Mackie goes in to try and pick something up. Oh, Sugar! And Sugar, another left-handed special from Sugar there, completely took Dunford by surprise. And George Powell dumps it down. Sugar collects immediately in front of us. Is he going to wind up the eights? He's going to have a slap shot. And straight through the legs of Campbell Blair. And Bernard Serefinski's ready to come out back onto the ice from the crowd. And back to full strength now, the Steelers, as Phil Lee skates all the way down. Oh, what a goal from Phil Lee! And Phil Lee hangs on to that one as he celebrates his first goal of the night. And all the way through, good skating there from Dumoulin, and Blackburn are on the score sheet this time, I think, from Glenn Knight, I believe it is. To be honest with you, I wasn't watching who scored there. It's very difficult to pick out these black numbers on the red backgrounds, but we'll wait for the initial announcement. It's Phil Lee dumps it down, and I think perhaps that Dunford wanted to stop that one, or glove it, but he missed it. Oh! And I'm not sure whether Rothwell got the final touch to that one, or whether it was actually Phil Lee. I will have to wait for the official announcement to see what happens on that one. Glenn Knight feeding it down the right-hand side, but cleared it by Rocky Thompson. Rothwell feeds it through nicely for Nemeth. Mark Mackey's unmarked in the middle. Oh, and and there's the dustbin goal I've been saying about all night for Nick Rothwell. We're back to even-handed, and then we'll get Rothwell coming out again, and we'll have a reverse situation. It's a break for Mackey down that left wing again, feeds it inside nicely for Nemeth, and he pops that one away. Number 20, Campbell Blair, gets an opportunity. Icing was waved off on that one by Simon Murray. Fed down again, Phil Lee gets an opportunity. Pops it inside. The forechecking of Blackburn's picking up. Nemeth, a shot saved again by Dunford, and it's in. Phil Lee, I think it was, grabs his second, and Dunford will be very disappointed about that one. Nemeth collects, beats two men, he's held out for a while, and it's Robbie Saunders with an opportunity, and Ronnie Wood, yes! Again waiting for movement. Schuder decides to bring it out himself, feeds Nemeth down the left wing. Nemeth, he's got Nick Rothwell inside of him. Takes it all the way around, and that was a super goal, that one by Steve Nemeth. Had a foil there by Nick Rothwell, who again was waiting for his dustbin goal, and he was quick to spot that George Dunford had moved to his stick hand post, slotted it round the back, and Blackburn have pretty well surrendered now. Thompson, and Dunford collects again. And Campbell Blair, but Blackburn get the puck. 66, Paul Fleury has a shot, Donald saves, and again, a brilliant from Donald. And I think that I persist in talking about Andy Donald's. And that highlights what I was about to say. I'm a strong believer that a lot of Sheffield fans and what I was trying to say was, I think that Sheffield fans are now starting to believe in Andy Donald. We talked about this last night, about his experience and his efforts with the Humberside Seahawks, and a lot of Sheffield fans have obviously got a personal liking for Andy Havenhand, but this proves that they are totally rest assured that they've got two class netminders now. So just 6 minutes and 3 seconds left in this period. 10-1 to the Steelers. Ron Wood has possession, flicks it round for Nick Rothwell to chase, fed inside, but unfortunately Mark Mackey had skated over it. Ron Wood gets the second bite of the cherry, and it gets a little bit complicated in there, but Sheffield retain possession. Mackey again takes it round the back, right in front of Nico Tolman. I don't know what they're waiting for, but Tolman doesn't want to know. Ron Wood has a shot himself. Mackey gets a second opportunity. Oh, Rockwell with his dustbin goal. Shudrow's been on for every minute of this game. Works his way through, lining up for a slap shot, and another classic goal for Shudrow. There he is, rocket run to unleash that one, and I'd have put money on that, the end result of that one coming along. And Rothwell didn't quite get a grip with that one. Mackey waiting in the middle, and another classic goal. And number 77, Wayne Dunn, loses his helmet in a bit of a battle with Mackey as he comes round, his long flowing locks there without his helmet. And an opportunity for Mackey, swings it round. What a goal! Mackey's just making it look so easy. We've seen these girls down here every time we've had a home match, so we've got to say hello to them. Your name is?
Tina, Andrea, Lucy, Sam, Lisa, Alison.
And let's have the lads as well.
Richard, Neil, Amy.
Right, and these people, every time we come down here, we've made some nice friends down here, but we always see these girls. Are you going to give us a wave for the camera then, everybody? For the... That's it. I think we might get in trouble with security if we hang on too much time. Nice to see you girls anyway. Nice to see you. I'm sure those girls would recommend to you that you buy the Moving Accounts videos. A very good shot there of Les Morfitt, our wide-angle cameraman. Andy Hawkins, who does the lead camera on all the close-ups, and well known to me as my wife. And this is Helen Morfitt, who looks after the scoreboard shots and crowd shots. And in case this is the first video you've bought, just to let you know that this is just a compilation of all the videos that we've produced over the past season. There are 13 altogether, and they are available from the Steelers office, priced at $9.99, for which you usually get 2 hours or more coverage. And we'd be interested to hear from you with any comments, whether they be good or bad, and you can also join the video club. Shooter again, doesn't tee one up this time, knocks it through for Nick Rothwell, who's fresh on the ice, feeds it through to Mackey, who's created some space for himself. Namath, well saved by Foster as it runs up in the air. Smith collects, but only to Mackey, gives Namath a great opportunity, and yet another dustbin goal this time. Woodrow's back on the ice, feeds it round. We've also got Sean Judge on as well. Steve Namath feeds inside, and a golden opportunity taken very nicely by Kevin Havenhand, and he's absolutely ecstatic. And that's the first goal for Kevin Havenhand. He's fresh on the ice, and he's absolutely thrilled with that opportunity. 16-1 now to the Steelers. And the boots of Havenhand. Havenhand was and a goal's been given there. Havenhand thought he'd got it, the puck ran loose, and whether he had his hand on that for sufficient time, I don't know. Gatti on Dumoulin and Nick Ruthwell off the boots of Kirkham, and a dustbin goal this time again for the very small, petite figure of Mark Johnson. And Ron Schuder picks up the man of the match, well deservedly, I'd say the man of the season.
We go to Livingston, we go to Blackburn. Are the Sheffield Steelers going to be in high Division 1 next year, Ryan?
Well, we can all support the defense so far this season. I think we're well on our way. We just want to thank you as a team for everything that you've done for us and the fans. You've got some answer you've done for them so far, and let's just keep it going.
Well done, Ron. Nice talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, just one further award. A happy birthday, and we've got
get this, Andy.
Paul Rocky Thompson.
And
can we have a happy birthday to you? Happy birthday.
And we're going to get an interview with Rocky Thompson later, so you'll be able to... what a nice touch. A big surprise for Rocky Thompson.
Finally, can I introduce you to a man that you don't see very often here, but he's the owner and the managing director of Sheffield Steelers Limited, and without this man you would not be here tonight. Can I welcome Mr. David Gardner-Brown?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a man of very few words normally. This has been, for me, one of the most remarkable experiences in over 20 years of sports sponsorship, promotion and exercises. There's so many people I really would like to thank, but I'm not going to, apart from thanking everybody globally. But one set of people I would thank, because David said without me this wouldn't have happened. That's partly true, but frankly, without you, this wouldn't have happened. And to every single one of you, on behalf of the Steelers, thank you very much. Every one of you. Thank you. There is one other person I would want to make a special thank you to, because as you most of you know, I'm not in this country very often. It's the guy that really has made it happen, the guy that's made you all have a great time, Ronnie Wood.
I'd just like to say a few words of thanks and be very boring. First of all, to the arena, Bob Sullivan and his staff, for giving us such a wonderful complex to perform in and to giving you a nice, comfortable evening's entertainment. First and foremost, it's these guys there to do the job. It no doubt makes a great change for you to hear a different voice over the microphone. I don't think Sheffield Arena and Sheffield Steelers would be what they are without Dave Sims. Dave Sims is ably assisted by the sound and lighting engineer from the arena, and that's Justin, who tried to make this wonderful announcement this evening. But, you know, next to last, Blackburn Blackhawks for being so patient with us tonight. Just to wind it all up, we've made our mistakes this year. We've upset some people. That's my fault. I accept that. We'll do our best for next year to give you better organisation, better administration. I don't know if we can get you a better team, but just like to finish up. Every one of you has been absolutely tremendous. We look forward to seeing you at Blackburn. We look forward to seeing you at Livingston. We look forward to seeing you next season. Thank you very much.
Down in the changing room, we've got birthday boy Paul Thompson. Paul, how are you feeling after that performance tonight?
All right, sound, yeah, great.
You must have expected perhaps a little bit more of a fight from Blackburn, though, in all seriousness.
Well, yeah, for a Division 1 team, you think they'd give us a bit more, no, I don't know, put a bit more effort in, and be a bit sort of better quality, but, you know, I mean, we just totally outclassed them.
Do you think that...
What a waste, man.
Tommy, suck it out, I see it done.
You do it. Cheers.
Yeah, surely Blackburn are going to put up more of a fight than that on the home ice, so do you expect a different game down there?
Well, yeah, because it's their own rink, but I mean, the way we played tonight, I can't see. I mean, I think we've just taken everything out of them that they can actually give to us, you know. I mean, they were low before they came. I think that was frightening to play us, so it should be interesting up there.
And I know we're celebrating a little bit tonight because it's obviously the last home game, but the job isn't finished yet, is it?
No, not yet. Well, as long as we win the next two games, which I think we will, definitely. Right. We'll be in it.
I don't know about you, I was disappointed with Chelmsford efforts to try and bring it back. I think that Chelmsford, obviously, that first defeat that you had was probably a kick up the bum that you needed. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's given us the motivation to go out there and win every other game that's left. I mean, you know, if we'd have won, we might have laid back on our laurels a bit and took it easy, and we could have had some results going the other way, but yeah, definitely I agree with you.
That's right. Thank you very much indeed, Paul. There's an awful lot going on. Just for all the regular fans who see, like we do in our commentary position, it's very difficult to identify players other than from the numbers, and so from a distance it's difficult to know what they look like. So just for the benefit of the fans on the video, let's introduce the players to you. This is...
I'm Philip Rodrigo.
Russell Dove, number 6.
Robert Saunders, 17.
Gary Cox.
John George, number 2.
Gary Cox.
Bernard Serapinski.
Andy Mills. And I'm
That's
Gary
great.
Cox.
Well, lads, we'd just like to say it's been great us coming down and covering these games, and we look forward to seeing you all in Livingston. And we'll be up there to video again. And let's not get too carried away, because I think party night's going to be at Blackburn, and I hope you agree. But thanks a lot, lads. Yeah. Thank you very much. There's Gary Cox. With us over here is Nick Rothwell, who's in his suit getting ready to charge. This dustbin goal thing's getting to be a bit of a speciality, Nick. Is the dustbin goal that you keep getting onto there? You know, these quick flicks in front of the goal.
I don't know. It's guys like Steve and Mark that can just put the puck where they want, put it right on my stick. I don't have to do much work trying to get it in. It's just bang over there.
But it's proving to be a bit of a speciality. I don't know if you've watched any of our videos, and we always pick out this dustbin goal. And we always wait to see where Nick Rothwell is, and you've been successful in getting one or two of those.
Yeah, it's I've never been a finesse kind of guy, skating around, not soft hands, but I'll bang it in like Tim Kerr style goals. But yeah, if they want me to stand in front of the goal and take the shoves, I'll do it. And then like guys like Steve Nemeth, Mark Mackey to put the puck on my stick, and I'll put her home if I can.
Right.
Rolling in Livingston icing before the start of the game.
Give us your name and then tell us what you think the score will be tonight.
Well, I hope the Sheffield Steelers are going to win about 15-3 maybe, because we desperately want to go up into the other division, the higher division.
And you think 15-3 even without Phil Lee?
Yes, I think so. Because Shudra and Mackie can all score good goals.
And you're going to Blackburn tomorrow?
No, we're staying in Edinburgh for the weekend, unfortunately, so we can't go to...
Oh, what a disastrous weekend. Right.
Steve Batson, and I think the score will probably be round about 12-4.
About 12-4, and you're going to Blackburn tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, over 1,500 people going. You're going on one of the coaches?
No, we're driving up again. We've driven up today, and we'll be driving up again tomorrow.
And how long is it taking you to get to Livingston from Sheffield?
Today, roughly about 4 hours driving, a couple of half-hour stops. Set off around about 10 this morning, and got here for about 5:30.
Smashing, make plenty of noise. We'll make our way down here.
I think it'll be 16-3. Like it was last time, maybe 8-2 or something like that.
About 8-2, so you still think the Steelers will win even without Phil Lee?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
It's Pete, and I think it'll be about 10-0. Another 10-0 even without Phil Lee, you think it's going to be 10-0? Yeah, I think so. I think we'll beat it. And you're going to Blackburn tomorrow?
Yeah. My name's Sandra Beatson, and I think we're going to beat them by at least 4 clear goals.
4 clear goals, as long as we win, that's all that's important, eh? Give us your name, look smart at the camera, and then tell us what you think score is going to be tonight.
My name's Deborah Battins. I think the score tonight will be 15-0.
15-0? A clean sheet. Andy Donald's going to be out of his street tonight, I would have thought. Right, I'm here with Phil Lee, and as I'm sure you're all aware, Phil's not playing tonight. Phil, tell me, how's that going to affect the Steelers' chances here in Livingston?
I think they'll have it'll be a harder game for them without being short on the D. But I think Ronnie Wood will drop into the defence. They'll bring one of the lads who usually sits the bench on to take his place up front. But I'm not saying it'll be as strong, but I think they'll give us a good game, I think.
Just dumps it away, picked up by Mackie in the neutral zone, but Brian Day doing his defensive job well, clearing the pieces. Tries to jump it down, it's intercepted by Shooter, who feeds Mackie. Mackie goes below, 1-0. Storming Steve Nemeth with a goal there, picked up from Mark Mackie, who found Nemeth wide open in the clear. And that's exactly what the Steelers needed, 5 minutes and 31 seconds into this opening first period. Steve Nemeth opens the scoring. Bomber tries to find Paul Daveney without success, and it's Steve Nemeth who breaks free. He has Serafinski outside him, he tries to shot and scores! Oh, Steve Nemeth with the bullets. He has Serafinski outside him one way, Gary Cox outside him the other, and he let the bullet go from in the neutral zone. 2-0 Steelers, 2-0 Steve Nemeth. Cox standing around there, Mackie with another shot. Comes out, Schuger won't get there first, it's David Adam that tries to clear the zone. Puck still in, Mackie, Nemeth, goal! Sorry, it's Nick Rothwell. Nick Rothwell came in there, standing in the spot, so a power play goal for the Sheffield Steelers. Magic Mackie tries to find Nemeth on the backhand, does so, finds Rothwell, tries the shot, finds Mackie, Mackie scores! Magic Mark Mackie takes the score to 4-0. To find Brian Dane doesn't do so, and puts 16 Stuart Stomach in trouble. Nemeth goes in, glove save, goes out again, it's on the line. 18 Nick Rothwell with the tap in, and it's becoming a rout. 5-0, the Steelers lead. The crowd go up expecting a penalty. Shot comes in from 20 Eric Bomber. Tries again of his shot and he scores. Andy Donald was deflected there. But it was Eric Bomber with the wrist shot. He'd had a good shot just a few seconds earlier. Shooter on a breakaway, goes outside Bomber, backhand pass to Nemeth, over the blue line, West one goes into the body, Ron Shooter comes in, goal! A great play by Ron Shooter and Steve Nemeth. Ron Shooter twice picking up the rebound in his own end, finding Steve Nemeth with the backhand, and Nemeth going deep in, fires a shot into the chest of the Livingston Kings netminder, and there was Ron Shooter picking up the... Nemeth manages to kick it out, looking for Rothwell, doesn't find him. Mackie goes in hard on Brian Day. And it's a little scrappy at the moment, it comes out to Mackie. Mackie's got Rothwell outside him, picks it up. Behind the net is Mackie! Mark Mackie gets it, he got Nemeth outside him, but he chose Mackie in front of goal. And Mark Mackie makes it 7-1. 15 seconds on Serafinski's penalty. 1:18 on the penalty to Magic Mark Mackie. Picked up by Eric Bomber. You'll hear the Steelers fans calling the Serafinski penalty down as Bomber takes the shot and scores. A 5-on-3 power play goal to the Livingston Kings, and Eric Bomber gets a deserved goal as the puck's taken out of mid-air by Nemeth. Only goes as far as Brian Day brings it over the blue line. Linesman missed a offside there. Firing high, he got a deflection off one shooter's stick, I think we'll find. Third goal to the Livingston Kings. Who's taken out of the play well by Steve Nemeth. Mark Mackey now fiddling around with the puck. Fine Shudra, who's got Ronnie Wood alongside him, but he'll just fire the puck down to kill some time. Deflected off John Baxter and picked up by Gary Shearer. Nemeth goes in. Oh, a great goal. Got it. What an surprising goal by Storming Steve Nemeth. A short-handed goal. With only 3 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in this second period. Stamford tries to clear the zone, only as far as Robbie Saunders finds Shudra. Shudra finds Nemeth. Nemeth on the reshot. Draws it back this time, finds Shudra. Shudra fires one in. Goal! Goal! One Shudra! Another short-handed goal, and this penalty to Nick Rothwell providing or proving to be valuable for the Steelers. Second short-handed goal with a penalty, this time the Rockets. Ronnie Shudra with 17 seconds left unexpired on the Steelers penalty to Nick Rothwell. Tremendous atmosphere. If you've never been away with the Sheffield Steelers or any ice hockey team, come away with the Steelers. Great atmosphere. The puck goes to Mackey. Mackey finds the top shelf as Magic Mark Mackey with just 34 seconds remaining on the power play. Opportunity to the Steelers. 11 goals to 3. The Steelers lead. There's 8:25 left on the play as the Steelers fans get into their ritual dance routine.
With Chelmsford having completed their fixtures the previous weekend with a 10-10 draw at Blackburn, only one game remained. The Steelers needed just 1 point to secure a Heineken Division 1 place, because even if they drew, their goals for and against record against Chelmsford would carry them through.
For the Steelers to come out. First of all, give us your name, tell us how long it took you to get ready, and then tell us what you think the score's going to be tonight.
Hi Dave, my name's Tim. I'm the chairman of the supporters club along with Haley. Tonight, doesn't matter what the score is, we're going to be winning, and we're going to be in Heineken next season.
And it's all that matters. Heineken Division 1 next year. Let's go further up. Sorry Tim, say again.
And all I can say is, it doesn't really matter what happens, the crowd's going to be good, we're going to do our best, and the Steelers are going to perform tonight. Good luck lads.
Steelers to win, let's go up here. Let's have a word with you, sir. Right, first of all, tell us your name, then tell us what you think the score's going to be this evening.
My name's John.
John.
And I think the score will be 12-4.
12-4 to Sheffield.
Yeah, I do indeed.
That's great, another victory for Sheffield.
Whenever you're ready.
Well, hello everybody and welcome to the Blackburn Ice Arena. Tremendous atmosphere here for the Steelers. Last game of the 1991-1992 season. A partisan crowd. Over 2,500 Sheffield Steelers fans have made the hour and three-quarter drive from the Sheffield Arena to the Blackburn Arena, what promises to be a most eventful night. Following last night's winning Livingston and also Chelmsford's victory against the Blackburn Seahawks, the Steelers tonight require just 1 point to ensure that they are the team in Heineken Division 1 next season. And we welcome out onto the ice our heroes of Sheffield, the Sheffield Steelers. Absolutely incredible. The crowd goes to Dirk. They're led out by Alan Hay, followed by the Rockets, Ronnie Shudra. And what a year it's been for Ron Shudra. Since the collapse of the Premier Division Solihull Barons, Ron Shudra, he has just given absolutely everything for the Sheffield Steelers cause. The word is that Ron Shudra will be back in Sheffield next year. Sheffield next year. Oh, it's going to be a good year. Let's just hope it's in Heineken Division 1. You can see the Steelers players just looking into the crowd. They can't quite believe the response they've had. Queues and queues outside the arena as we got here today on the coach. Busloads. I have yet to see a Blackburn Blackhawk supporter. Blackburn now come onto the ice. Absolutely phenomenal. You look to your left, you see Sheffield Steelers. You look to your right, there's more Sheffield Steelers. The wave goes round, the Queen We Will Rock You goes round. Rock and Roll Part 2 they're playing, they're standing for that. It's just like being at home. And let's just hope the Steelers can bring victory. David Gardner-Brown walking across the ice there. And I'm sure he must have a lump in his throat when he sees these people, along with Kevin Harvey. The stick boy, the water boy, the stick taper. Tremendous atmosphere. 5:39 on a Sunday evening in the Blackburn Arena. I don't know, Jim, whether you can pick it out. The old fun bunch are over there, just behind David Gardner-Brown on one of the stanchions. We've got Rubber on his band. They're all here at the Blackburn Arena tonight. And to be fair, it's more like the Sheffield Arena than the Blackburn Arena. The Sheffield Philharmonic, they're here, the trumpets are blowing, the crowds are cheering.
Do you think it's likely that a lot of these people are going to be at the Meadowhall tomorrow as well?
Well, the Meadowhall could be absolutely phenomenal tomorrow.
We've done a specially prepared video for tomorrow as well, about 16 minutes of goals and interviews and you on the ice talking to the fans, that kind of thing. It'll be good fun.
Well, we have 60 minutes of action to get through tonight. I think that's the old manager talking here, that it really matters out on the ice rather than up here in the stanchions. But I'm sure, you know, knowing Ron Shuger, Ronnie Wood and Phil Lee as well as I do, I know they will have their mind firmly fixed on the next 60 minutes. And Steve Nemeth, his attitude, as long with Magic Mark Mackey's, is absolutely first class. Good save again. Dumped out, only as far as Shuger on the point. Finds Ronnie Wood, he's got time, shoots, scores! Oh, Ronnie Wood! Top corner, Ronnie Wood. He had all the time in the world to pick his spot, and didn't he do it well? Bit of a slashing penalty there, goes to Rothwell. Rothwell forces a good save out of the netminder Foster. Blackburn having the same problem as Livingston, clearing the zone. It's a goal! Another goal! A scramble there! 2 minutes and 37 seconds. The Steelers go 2 goals to 0. Phil Lee comes in late. There's a 3-on-2 here if Blackburn use it right. They have got it right. And Campbell Blair misses the easy chance, and the goal scored by Paul Fleury. Mackey wins the face-off as far as Shuger. Catches him on his backhand. Finds Phil Lee just a bit too hard. They'll look just to find Ronnie Wood in the centre. Wall misses him, comes as far as Nemeth. Shuger with a blast. Oh, glove set goal! Oh, I thought young Foster got a piece of that, but he couldn't overboard it from Ron Shuger. Paul Thompson and Ron Shuger on defence. 14's Gary Cox, 21 is Magic Mark Mackey, and 13 Bernard Serafinski. It's Mackey with the attack, picking up his own rebound. Mackey has scored, picking up his own rebound off the backhand. And Mack attack special. At 12 minutes and 46 seconds, the Steelers lead by 4 goals to 1. Loses the face-off this time. Big shot coming in from Campbell Blair. Shot coming in from Jed Smith. Shuger controls it, can't clear it. Oh, big mistake in the Sheffield zone. Shuger couldn't clear his zone. Jed Smith came in with the first shot. Big save by Andy Donald, but it only went as far as Campbell Blair. Dimmerling got the skates on Ron Shuger there. Steve Nemeth picks it up deep. The blue skates of Steve Nemeth winds one up. Oh, what a goal! Storming Steve Nemeth with an absolute volley from outside the blue line. Anyway, it's Blackburn Blackhawks on the attack. It's Campbell Blair with the opportunity and scores. Consistent play from Campbell Blair, and it was Ronnie Wood this time having trouble clearing his zone. Back with a big action, it's Magic Mackey with a shot. Takes a deflection off George Powell, brings it inside, goes to his backhand, goes to his forehand. Nemeth, goal! Oh, what a goal! 6 goals to 3, the Steelers lead. The old twisting away. Campbell Blair wins the face-off, back to Glenn Nye, goal! And they've done it again at the Blackburn Blackhawks. Andy David Donald looks at his defence there to say he couldn't see that one coming in, but that's 3 times now. The Steelers have gone 3 ahead 3 times within a short period of time. The Bang have come back, the Blackburn Blackhawks. They're not letting this one go by any way, shape or means. End of the first period, the Blackburn Blackhawks 4, Sheffield Steelers 6. With me, David Garner-Brown, the owner of the Sheffield Steelers. David, a tremendous party atmosphere here in Blackburn, but still 40 minutes to go in the actual hockey.
Yeah, I don't really know which to concentrate on at the moment, whether I should concentrate on the atmosphere of the arena or look at the hockey. Both of them are pretty spectacular at the moment.
Steelers keep going 3 goals up, then Blackburn keep coming back with a goal. I think the atmosphere keeps getting onto everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't think we're playing any sort of defensive hockey at all at the moment. It's great for the public, but it certainly isn't very good for my heart.
Phil Lee goes round 1, goes round 2. Paul Fleury getting a stick in the face of Phil Lee, and Phil Lee gives it him back. Fleury gives it him back as well. Anyway, Nemeth, goal! 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 Oh yes! Have a bit of that, Paul Fleury. Don't mess with the Sheffield Steelers. Paul Fleury deep in his defensive zone, finds Knight. Knight looks at Fleury, give away, Nemeth, goal! A short-handed goal by storming Steve Nemeth. The Steelers lead 8-4, 15-5, remaining in the period, 39 seconds. The Steelers have still got to clear. Fleury and Phil Lee. Paul Fleury goes to dump it in, can't do so. Mark Mackey comes in, forechecking again, manages to clear his own. Oh, it's Nemeth, it's a 3-on-2. Nemeth, bullet, goal! Oh, Stephen Nemeth. Dumoulin again, goes down the right this time. Schuger intercepts. Schuger will take it over. Schuger, bullet, goal! Oh, Rockets, 1, Schuger! David Garner-Brown, get that champagne out. We are going to be in Heineken 1 next year. 10-4 the Steelers lead. 6 minutes and 11 seconds into the second period. Blackburn have a good opportunity to get at least 1 goal back here.
And so they should do. If they can't get a goal in this situation, they're not worth another one. That's all, are they, really?
Campbell Blair, Bishop, goal. Picks the deflection. I think it might be Paul Fleury. We'll have to wait till he turns round. Yes, it is. 10:45 remaining in the second. 43 seconds remaining on Phil Lee's tripping offence. Nemeth and Dumoulin in the centre. Jed Smith picks it up. He's met by Schuger. Can't find Campbell Blair, though, can Jed Smith. Only can find Steve Nemeth. A bullet from the halfway line. Stick saved by Trevor Foster. Nemeth again. Oh, my word! Steve Nemeth, absolutely unbelievable, and a straight hat-trick of short-handed goals by storming Steve Nemeth. The netminder, he's going to be brought on neck brace soon. He's been taken inside out, roundabout. He's going to need a readmission ticket to get him back inside here. Well, what'd you say about that guy, Jim, Steve Nemeth?
Oh, absolutely incredible. I mean, after last night, I'm still shell-shocked. I mean, the absolute skill. I mean, I spend a lot of time editing his goals as well as getting them on camera as well. And it just absolutely amazes me. I can't believe it.
I love it. Mackey this time goes in with Dumoulin. Scrappy face-off. Mackey goes round the back. He's got Nemeth in front of the net. Mackey, Nemeth, goal, goal, goal!
That was cheeky.
Steve Nemeth picks the puck up, loses it in his skates. Paul Fleury collects. And again, Nemeth slashing again, and he hasn't picked it up again. And Schuger runs Fleury. Schuger runs Fleury. Great play by Schuger. Mackey 1-on-1. Clean pair of hands. Goal. Oh yes. Mark Mackey. They're getting fancy, and the Sheffield Steelers are the wrong team to try and get fancy with. Schuger, Lee, Nemeth and Mackey out on the ice for Sheffield. It's Phil Lee. Oh, Campbell Blair goes in with the stick high again. Schuger finds Mackey. He's got Nemeth just in the circle. Phil Lee to his back. Goes to Nemeth. Nemeth, wrist shot, save. Phil Lee, goal. And Phil Lee gives us the old rummy shuffle. Tries to find Jed Smith, who couldn't quite get a grip of it. Nick Rothwell got a nice piece of him there. Oh, big hit by Paul Thompson. The cross-check right in the back of Paul Fleury. And Fleury and Thompson go for it. Thompson with a haymaker. Thompson and it's off. Paul Thompson goes in, the linesman goes in. But Thompson got a big right hand in there before Campbell Blair managed to grab hold of the shirt and pull him down. It still isn't over yet. Listen to this crowd. You don't mess with Paul Thompson, you don't mess with the Sheffield Steelers. And Paul Thompson saying, you don't mess with me, you chicken wimp. Campbell Blair. But listen to the reception that Paul Rocky Thompson will get as he leaves the ice. Harkins tries to clear, Nemeth with the bullets. Pad save again by Foster. He's had an outstanding game. Phil Lee behind the goal. Dimmerlin just manages to scrape it over into the neutral zone. Schuger tries to calm things down. Backhand pass to Mark Mackey, who's got Phil Lee just outside him now. Mackey with the bullet. Goal! 3 words say it all. Those words are magic. Mark Mackey. Score of the 15th goal, timed at 38 minutes and 12 seconds, 15-5. It's party night.
Yep.
I hope the police aren't on the road between Blackburn and Sheffield, because there's a fair few Heineken beers that are going to be sampled tonight here in Blackburn. Anyway, Glenn Knight picks the puck up deep in his own zone. Oh, he can't clear it again. 2-on-1, Nemeth, Mackey loses it and he skates. Goal! Oh, he lost it and he brought it back and fired it into the top corner. Magic Mark Mackey makes it 16 goals to 5 at 39 minutes and 40 seconds. And just listen to the support young Andy Avenants get in. 9:14 remaining. George Powell and Phil Lee. Phil Lee takes a slash from George Powell. Big mistake, George Powell. I wouldn't go there. And we're going. George Powell with a uppercut. Phil Lee cutters off. Now he dumps him. Oh, the big WWF slam by Phil Lee. Big mistake, George Powell. And he'll probably be getting his face punched there. The big slam. Leapy on top with the uppercut. Shirt over George Powell's head. And as I said, we have a way of dealing with people like George Powell in Birmingham, and Phil Lee give him the big boomer. At the start of this period, the puck's come back to Schuger. Schuger tries to find Mackey. Mackey with a backhand goal! Magic Mark Mackey with a goal. 1 minute and 30 seconds into this third period. This is now becoming a rout. Ronnie Wood in the neutral zone, takes it over the red line. Goes to Jed Smith, takes it round the back of Willow, slashed, shot, save, shot by Mackey, save, goal! Phil Lee on the hat-trick. 4 minutes and 12 seconds into this third and final period, and Phil Lee gets his hat-trick. Way to go, Leapy. Does it turn off well? 9, 8, just listen, 7, 6, the stick save, the glove save. Dumoulin goes in, it's all over. The Sheffield Steelers have won the final playoff game. The Sheffield Steelers are now in Heineken League Division 1. They're throwing the pads, they're throwing the elbow pads into the crowd. If you were not here, you've missed what a tremendous night. They all salute the crowd, led by Andy Avenant, Ron Schuger, Gary Cox, Phil Lee, Steve Nemeth, Andy Donald. It's quite phenomenal, quite unbelievable. Robbie Saunders, Ron Schuger, Alan Haig. Blackburn Ice Arena has just been taken over. Great atmosphere, yeah?
Oh yeah, fantastic. The support we have, it's great.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Something else, 2,500 of them. It was just like a home game.
It's fantastic. It's great.
Oh, it was unbelievable. You know, for an away game, having that much support, it's unbelievable. I don't think there's anything like this in the country. It's just unbelievable, and it's a pleasure to be playing here. Yeah.
I think you better go. Just listen to this in the Steelers dressing room. Right. I think you're going back out there to salute your crowd. We'll speak to you again later. There's Gary Cox with the Sheffield Steelers flag. Who can begrudge anybody this? Who can begrudge Gary Cox that enjoyment? How many years playing for Sheffield Sabres? flight with Steve Nemeth. Steve, you're flying off tomorrow, but what a great experience. You must have enjoyed your time in Sheffield.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed myself very well. Coming here was a new thing. I never heard much about England. I heard it was a lot of goal scoring and all that, but I was surprised by the arena.
Yeah.
The attitude of the arena, the attitude of all the players. And I'll tell you, the fans are #1. And here we are tonight. We showed them, and it was great.
Yeah. You go home, we'll see you again next year. You make that promise to the Steelers fans?
I'll be back next year.
Dave, we spoke to you at the end of the first period. It was 4-2. It seems a long time ago. You must be delighted.
Absolutely wonderful. Didn't they do well?
Everybody did fabulous. You must be absolutely chuffed a bit.
Yes, I think it's a season of very hard work, both from Ronnie Wood, the office staff, yourself, and the team, and we've got our just reward. It's as simple as that. We've got what we deserved.
We'll see you in August in Heineken Division 1.
You certainly will.
Well, I would have thought this time last year. Just the same.
Yeah, the crowd, unbelievable, yeah?
Oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah, couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better.
I don't know where we're going to find rinks big enough to put everybody. That's the problem. I mean, where do we play? You know, there's nowhere big enough. So I think we're going to have to play all home games next year. Simple as that.
I'm sure that. Right with Phil Lee. Phil, must have been incredible playing in front of that many people, all from your home.
I'll tell you what, I've never ever played anywhere in the world. I've been abroad and everywhere, and you just can't describe it. I've watched on television, but it's just unreal. I'm overwhelmed, but I just like to say, memories like the corners of my mind.
What's it like playing in front of all these people?
It's brilliant. We've got the best supporters in the land, best supporters in the country. We're going to show the whole league something that, you know, Sheffield's on the map, and we'll be there.
Sean, you got a bit of ice time tonight. It must be great playing in front of all those people.
Brilliant, yeah, absolutely brilliant. The support is unreal. Well, you can't match it, can you?
Kevin, tremendous. You must have been fabulous to play in front of all those people.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's what we worked for all season, and unbelievable.
Tell me, what's it like playing in front of all these people?
It's magic. It's unbelievable. You know, we've never had it before until this season.
Yeah.
You know, the local Sheffield players. You know, we're just thrilled to bits with it.
Yeah.
And you know, we got to go out there and next season and do the same thing. If we can do it, hopefully, then we'll be very successful.
Yeah, we won't keep you. There's plenty of beer and champagne to drink. But the Rocket Run shoes are back next year for sure.
Tune in to this station for further details.
You must have dreamed of days like this.
Not many, unbelievable. Yeah. I've got no words to describe it.
And David Gardner-Brown buying the beer as well, can't be bad.
Yeah.
It was Robbie. Unbelievable atmosphere, yeah?
Oh, fantastic. Who would have believed, eh? First that happened.
Great time. Reminds you of the Stanley Cup, doesn't it, when all the press come in at the end and the old cups going around.
Fantastic.
Next year, definitely back with Sheffield?
If things are right, yes. And Ronnie's happy.
Must have been good to get some ice time in front of all those people, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's been a great season. I've never experienced anything like it before, like, you know, playing lower leagues. And, you know, it's been really good, Phil.
You got the better, I think, there at Campbell Blair, yeah?
Oh yeah, I had my finger in his eye for about 3 seconds, I think.
That's right. And then a few seconds later, leaping with the old WWF slam.
Well, it's the Brummie Bashers.
The Brummie Bashers. Great to play in front of all those people.
They were superb. You can't say nothing wrong about them. We've appreciated them a lot tonight. They're absolutely brilliant, so as far as I'm concerned.
On behalf of everybody in Sheffield, Alan, what do you go, son?
Thank you.